Last night, the Angels went into the 8th inning down a run and looking for a little magic. And they found it in the bat of one Reginald Martinez-Jackson. A 2-run blast that keyed a 4-run inning and reduced the magic number to 2. Tonight, it could reach 0. The Angels are 9 innings away from another title.
Live from Anaheim Stadium, the California Angels take on the Texas Rangers. KTLA Channel 5 Sports presents exciting California Angels baseball. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. More dependability, more quality, more satisfied owners. Who could ask for anything more? By the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, the #1 name in radios. Come up to Goodyear and save. By Kentucky Fried Chicken, the people who do chicken right. Come in and try a bucket of our delicious fried chicken. And by Bud Light, the light beer with a first name and taste. Everything else is just the light. And now, with all the Angels action, here's Bob Starr and Joe Torre.
It is a great night for baseball here at the Big A, and it could really be a great night about 3 hours from now because the magic number could be 0. Back in February, this is the evening they were all shooting for, Joe Torre, a chance to win a championship here this evening.
And back in February and March, Gene Mach said 90 games will get us into the playoffs, and they've won 89 so far.
This kind of pumps you up because you've been here before. I could feel the excitement kind of oozing out of you because you've sat on the bench, you've been in this kind of a situation, and you know what it feels like to the anticipation of that championship.
Well, you're getting down to the Final Four. You know, it's September. It's the only time that baseball is exciting in September for the teams that are fighting for a pennant. And I'm excited for sure. In '82, it happened to me, and I'll tell you, you never got tired. You never got much sleep, but you didn't get tired. And it all comes down to winning it on the field. And right now, 10 days ahead of time, they could clinch the pennant, the Western Division. And Gene Mach right away will go to work, I'm sure, saying, all right, how are we going to face Boston now?
And one other thing comes to mind. You have said many times in a tight ball game and a must, or I hope I do, can we win type of situation, you like John Candelaria, and he's on the mound tonight.
Well, yes, but John Candelaria, if it was next weekend, I'd say yes, even more so. But this game isn't a must. They're going to win one of these games this week, and it's just a matter of which one. But I'm sure if John wants to wrap it up tonight and get that concentration going, he's the one you want on the mound.
Well, it could be party time here tonight, and we're happy that you've joined us for Angels baseball from the Big A. We'll be back in a minute, and we'll give you the starting lineups for tonight's ball game.
When businesses advertise in the Pacific Bell Yellow Pages, they expect results, and they get them in spades. Myra Morton's preschool was short on students. Her ad ran, and the waiting list is now 30 students long. Mike Kalea bought several ads. They helped boost his business 40%. Jim Sweatman ran a half-page ad and had the biggest year he had ever had. The Pacific Bell Yellow Pages, simply the best.
Starting today, one person will have more control over your credit. That person is you. Presenting TRW Credential Service, a credit breakthrough that gives you instant electronic application for credit or loans, instant recognition at banks and stores, constant access to your TRW credit report. Look for details in your mail. If you use credit, you need credentials. TRW Credential Service.
Time to play! McDonald's NFL! Kickoff payoff! Oh, boy! You collect these cards of your favorite NFL stars. Oh, like him?
Every kickoff payoff card is a winner. Win great McDonald's food prizes.
Winning cards must be redeemed by the following week.
So hurry into McDonald's.
New winners every week at McDonald's!
Hopefully, you'll get all Rams NFL trading cards at McDonald's. But if you get a Raider, do what I do. Just toss it in your locker.
KLAC's new morning man, Jerry House.
Hi, I'm here to tell you about a very special radio station. It's KLAC 57 AM, home of the House Foundation in the morning and great country music all day long. Plus news and information, a lot of fun, and a lot of free money, too. Check it out. Isn't that nice?
57 KLAC, the best variety of country music and free money, too.
That's 57 KLAC. Give us a try. You might win some of our money. Ooh.
That cheer you hear is for the Angels, who are taking the field with an opportunity to win a Western Division title here tonight as they take on the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everyone. Bob Starr again with Joe Torre. Let's take a look at the Ranger lineup as we go into Game 1 of this weekend three-game series. Leading it off for Texas, it'll be Scott Fletcher. He's the shortstop. Batting second in center field, Ruben Sierra. Batting third, playing at first base, is Pete O'Brien. The cleanup man will be their designated hitter, Larry Parrish. Batting fifth, playing in right field, Pete Incaviglia. Batting in the number 6 spot, playing in left field, the veteran Tom Pashori. Batting seventh and catching is Don Slott. Batting eighth, playing at third base, Steve Buechele. And batting ninth, playing at second base, another veteran in this Texas lineup that doesn't have a great many of them, but some, Toby Harrah. He's at second base, batting ninth. Fletcher, Sierra, O'Brien, Parrish, Incaviglia, Pashoric, Slott, Buechele, and Toby Harrah. And on the mound, left-hander Mike Mason. For the Angels, it'll be Gary Pettis leading it off. He's in center field. Batting second is Wally Joyner at first base. Batting third in left field, Brian Downing. The cleanup man will be third baseman Doug DeCinces. Batting fifth in right field, George Hendrick. Batting sixth at second base, Bobby Grich. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Rick Burleson. Burleson, the designated hitter with the left-hander on the mound tonight. Batting eighth, playing at shortstop, Dick Schofield. And batting ninth and catching is Bob Boone. It'll be Pettis, Joyner, and Downing, DeCinces, Hendrick, and Grich, Burleson, Schofield, and Boone. And John Candelaria on the mound with a record of 8-2. It's his first appearance of 1986 against the Texas Rangers. Likewise, for Mike Mason, the Texas pitcher, it's his first appearance of this year against the California Angels. Defensively for the Angels, Brian Downing is in left field. In center field, it is Gary Pettis, George Hendrick in right. At third base, Doug DeCinces, Dick Schofield at short, Bobby Grich at second base. The first baseman is Wally Joyner. Bob Boone catches, and about ready to lead it off for the Texas Rangers is Scott Fletcher, their shortstop. And this is the lineup that could put them all the way into mid-October.
Here it is. You work all year for this night where you can clinch it. And last year it got down to the last road trip and really the last weekend of the season. But now the Angels have breathing room. If they don't win it tonight, they'll do it tomorrow or the next day, but tonight they want to win it.
All they need is a win. The breaking pitch on the first pitch of the ball game was a strike into Scott Fletcher, batting .298. 3 home runs, 47 runs driven in. And as you said, Joe Torre, it's going to happen either tonight or tomorrow night or the next day or whatever. Another strike and a fastball paints that outside corner. Dale Ford is the plate umpire here tonight. Rick Reed is at first base. Greg Kosk at second. And Rich Garcia is at third. That's the umpiring crew.
And you usually know early with Candelaria. And the way those first 2 pitches were thrown, he seems to be psyched for the situation.
It's a pretty good fastball, was it not? The last one he threw. Fastball sails a little high for a ball, 1-2.
He's down a little lower with the arm than you normally see him, but he has a live fastball.
A gap at left center, and a curveball misses high. 2-2 to Scott Fletcher, the Texas leadoff man. They've won 80. They've lost 72. The Angels tonight going for their 90th win, and that was the magic number that Gene Mott had given everyone in February. Fastball just about got him. Full count, 3-2.
And I see John Candelaria might be working a little bit faster than normal. He really pumps up with this fastball, and he tries to get it inside, and he gets a little bit too far inside.
3-2 pitch coming here to the leadoff man, Fletcher. Jammed him, rolls it out in the grass. Boone hustling to get it and hit him in the back. And it goes into right field. And they're going to call him out because he was inside the line.
And he was.
Dale Ford calling him out. Here comes Bobby Valentine.
And Bobby is coming out for a courtesy argument, but Scott Fletcher has to be inside those restraining lines going down the first base line. And that's what they're arguing about now. If he has even 1 foot to the left of that line and gets hit with the ball, he is out. And that's what happened.
So Fletcher is out of there on interference.
We'll take a look. Fletcher gets jammed, and Boone comes out and fields the ball, and you watch Scott Fletcher. Now that left foot, both feet are outside that line, and he gets hit and he's out. You have to give the defensive man a chance to make the play, and he has to run to the outside of the first baseline.
That brings up Ruben Sierra. Takes a fastball for a strike from John Candelaria. Sierra batting .268. Grounds it into the hole, and short base hit. What is the feeling of a player, Joey, going into a game like this? They know they can win a championship here tonight as you look at this one more time.
Well, I'll tell you, this young man's having a heck of a year, Sierra. What's the feeling? You're talking about the Angels?
Yes.
Well, it could be the other team. The other team doesn't want them to clinch it against them.
Well, I know that, but I was thinking how they control the emotion. They have to control it some way or another.
Well, I didn't find them overly excited. I just believe about...
Not outwardly excited.
Well, you know, a couple of weeks ago, back at the beginning of September, they seemed to break it open. And at that point, they just felt that they were going to win it. Now that the time has come, they're a little jittery.
Broken bat, looper out into center field, and Gary Pettis waits. 2 down. I want to remind you, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the California Angels and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the California Angels is prohibited.
Now can I finish?
Yes, go ahead.
They are jittery for sure. They know it's going to happen. Now it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And tonight, they want it badly because they have a nice crowd out here at the Big A. And it's just trying to concentrate on playing your game. You know, when you're fighting a pennant down the last weekend of the season, it's a little bit different. You really can't worry about celebrations. Now they can plan their celebration, but winning on the field is what has to be done first.
Here's the designated hitter, Larry Parrish. Breaking pitch way outside after he'd fouled one away. These two have battled each other for a long time in their National League days when Parrish was with Montreal and John was in Pittsburgh. So they know each other extremely well. Parrish has hit 27 over the boards, driven in 90. 279 hitter.
And the key is the pitcher, because he'll set the tempo for the ball game. And to the first hitter, Candelaria looked like he was working awfully fast, a lot faster than he's normally used to working, and he has slowed down the pace now, so he can set the tempo.
2 out, runner at first, fouled away. Curling back upstairs off to the right side. The count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes on Larry Parrish. On deck is Pete Incaviglia. They will be in the 40,000 range here tonight. Bobby Valentine, who has done a wonderful job with this Texas club. They've won 80 ball games.
And he will get consideration for Manager of the Year.
They got him picked off at first. Over to Joyner, down to Schofield, and Sierra is out of there. So nothing doing, no runs, a base hit, a man picked off, trying to steal, nobody left. Parrish will lead off the next inning. As we go to the bottom of the first, the Angels come to bat. It'll be Pettis, Joyner, and Downing coming up, no score.
Toyota announces a crate full of savings. Save up to $707 on selected trucks with options like chrome step bumpers and split bench seats. Wrap it up, Joe. Save up to $916 on cargo vans with options like AM/FM cassette, power steering, tilt wheel, and automatic transmission. Toyota's crate full of savings. Wrap one up today.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Can you believe the way some fast food places make chicken? It starts out frozen and can end up like rubber. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, the original recipe and extra crispy chicken start out fresh. And they're cooked fresh all day long, so every piece is tender and delicious.
Finger-licking good.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Anyone else's chicken may leave you cold.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Let's take a look at the Ranger defense. In left field, you have Tom Pashorek, a veteran of many, many campaigns with a number of teams. Ruben Sierra, just a youngster out in center field. Pete Incaviglia, another one, a power hitter out of Oklahoma State, by way of Pebble Beach, I might add, out in right field. At third, it is Steve Buechele. Scott Fletcher's the shortstop. Toby Harrah, another veteran on this club, at second base. Pete O'Brien at first. And Don Slott is the catcher. And the left-hander on the mound is Mike Mason, a record of 7-3. Earned run average 4.07. He is 0-2 in his career against the Angels. However, it's his first appearance of 1986 against the Angels. Texas has now won a ball game against this club, and that's really kind of odd too, Joe, when you are at this stage of the season, although they've only played each other 6 times, but the Angels are 6-0 against them.
And they haven't played each other, as you mentioned, for a long time. And when it was real close, where there were 2 games ahead, a game ahead, you know, Bobby Valentine and a lot of other people were saying to themselves, boy, if they just split those 6 games, look where we could be. But right there, it tells the story. The Angels have it in hand. 9 games up, and on the loss side, it's evened up, wins and losses.
Well, including last night, the Angels have now won 17 games this season in their final at bat. They've had an outstanding September. They had a great August. They were 19-10. Mason's first pitch to the leadoff man, Pettis. Fastball sails away for a ball. And they are 15-7 right now in the month of September. That's just 3 wins shy of posting their best September in club history. Inside to Pettis for ball 2. Gary at 257. You have to like his marks.
Yes, he really has played well. After the All-Star break, the second half has been very kind to Pettis and to Schofield and to Vicente.
There's a base hit. Mike Mason came in with a fastball, and Pettis took him right back up the middle. And now a chance to do some running. He's stolen 44 bases. In that department, he is third best behind Henderson and Cangelosi, and he's only 4 behind Cangelosi of Chicago for the number 2 spot. So we'll see what happens here. Wally Joyner, the batter.
Now, if the Angels get a lead, you could look for them to really snowball, because they get the aggressiveness. The momentum stays on their side, aside from the momentum that they came into the game with.
Joyner's going to bunt, fouls it.
But Gene Mauch is playing this game like it's opening day. He is going to play it the way he got here, because, you know, we talk about, you know, what does it mean to the ball club to win tonight, to clinch a division. This ball club is loaded with a lot of veterans, and that is not going to be enough for them to win the division. They're going to look toward Boston and getting into the World Series, because they've been burned a couple of times, and that's what it's all about, I think, this trip.
Joyner with a 1-strike count, batting .290, 22 home runs. Pettis back over at first. The thing about Wally in the second half, he's only had a couple of home runs. Since the All-Star break, it has been a different kind of season for him, but he's maintained his marks in pretty good shape. Let's the first baseman play it. O'Brien does to Toby Harrah, coming over to cover. Sacrifice works. 3-4 on the putout. Down to second is Pettis with 1 away, and that'll bring up Brian Downing.
And with Wally Joyner, he has done all the little things asked of him also. Aside from starting out very well with the home runs and all the RBIs, still leading the club with 94 RBIs. He still is able to put the ball down and play, hitting and running. He does a lot of things and played well defensively also.
Brian Downing up there with 18 home runs, 87 runs driven in, and a chance to put the Angels on top here. In the bottom of the first, no score, 1 out. Mike Mason, a 6'2", 205-pound left-hander. Outfield straight away for Downing. And Slott and Mason want to get all their signs straight with Pettis out at second base. Although I don't think much thievery goes on anymore, Joey, with people at second base picking up signs.
If you get a veteran down there, you'll see some trying to pick up signs, and if not signs, location, because location will tell you what is coming also. So that's why the catcher has to be careful on giving location to his pitcher, that they could be flashing from second base.
Starts it with a curveball and drops it in for a strike. Downing at 270. In the month of September, batting at 323. Pettis going for third. They fake the bunt throw to third. He's safe. Pettis got a great jump on Mason, and even though Slott made a strong throw down there, it is still in base number 45 for Gary Pettis, and puts him at third with 1 out.
Well, you steal third on the pitcher, and Gary Pettis had no problem. As you see Buechele trying to put the tag on, but too late. And we almost lost Rich Garcia. A little slid in the third himself.
Downing also is among the leaders in the league in drawing bases on balls. He and Reggie are tied for third in the American League with 88 walks. Toward third, Buechele has it. Pettis comes home, and they're going to chase him down. In the rundown, back to Buechele. He tags Pettis out. .525 on the putout of Pettis. Downing's on at first.
Well, the only place Pettis would have been thrown out if that ground ball does go to third base. He thinks it's to the shortstop. But now once Pettis gets caught here, his job is to stay in the rundown until Downing gets the second. However, Texas did their job and got rid of Pettis before Downing had a chance to.
So an opening inning threat is just a glimmer now with a runner at first, 2 out, and Doug DeCinces up there.
Gary Pettis knows that ball is going to third base. He should not go home, but the ball was off to Buechele's left.
Downing reaches on the fielder's choice. DeCinces up there with a couple of home runs in the 6 games played so far between these two. He's hit a couple against Texas. Out of the 25 that he's taken over the boards, 93 runs driven in, only 1 behind the club leadership. 2-0 now, and he can zero down that strike zone.
Well, I believe it's going to take a couple of innings before these guys just settle into a ball game. Because right now they're involved in the whole deal of clinching it.
Back to the mound, off the end of the bat, and Mason fields it, plays it to first without any trouble. No runs on a base hit, and a man is left for the Angels. After an inning, there is no score. And coming up in the top of the second for Texas, it'll be Larry Parrish to lead it off, Pete Incaviglia to follow, and then Tom Pashore.
Who says you can't have 100% imported hops and a less filling beer? Old world aging and a less filling beer. Smooth super premium taste and a less filling beer. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can. Have it all.
For all those performance cars that want to keep performing even in wet, sloppy weather, Goodyear introduces the Eagle GT Plus 4. High performance and all-weather performance in one remarkable tire. The Eagle GT Plus 4. The performance won't be canceled by the weather. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them.
Some things just work, plain and simple.
Like you and me.
You don't ask a lot of questions why. You just know they work because they do. Like good news from Gillette. A new line of simple, honest products that don't cost a lot of money, but really work for us. Good news shampoo, conditioner, antiperspirant, and shaving cream.
All from Gillette at one low price. Good products, good value.
Now that's good news.
I love the way you say that.
Here's a reminder to you now, a public sale of tickets to games 3, 4, and 5 of the American League Championship Series at the Big A will be placed on sale at gate number 3 Wednesday at 9 a.m. Box seats at $25 and reserve seats at $20 will be sold on a cash-only basis. Fans may purchase up to 4 tickets to each of the 3 games. Tickets will also be available at Ticketron outlets on Wednesday.
How about up in Boston, Robert? No score after 9 innings.
And both the starters are out of there. Key and Clemens, Eichhorn and Schiraldi are in there. But nothing doing in that game. Toronto-Boston after 9. Parrish leads it off here. He was at the plate when Ruben Sierra was caught stealing. Parrish takes a strike, fouls one away, and he's in the hole, 0-2. In his career in the American League and playing with this Texas club, he has hurt the Angels from time to time with the long ball. He can hit some home runs. He's hit 27.
Well,
wasted outside for a ball.
If a pitcher lets him extend his arms, Larry Parrish can hurt you. He's a sweep type hitter, and what you'd like to do is pinch him a little bit inside.
Strike 3 call. Breaking pitch caught the outside part of the plate, and Parrish is punched out of there. One away, and that'll bring up Pete Incaviglia.
You push him back off the plate, and then you backdoor him, and that's what you call a backdoor breaking ball. Starts away, you give up on it, and it catches the corner.
Pete Incaviglia, in his rookie year, right off the Oklahoma State campus to the outfield of the Texas Rangers, has hit 27 home runs. He's driven in 76, but he's also struck out a ton.
175.
175, right. Candelaria starts him with a breaking pitch in for a strike. Pete at 249 in spite of that. He is in a little 0 for 16 drought right now. He's strong. Strike 2 at the knee.
And the one thing you don't want a young hitter to worry about is going up there to keep from striking out, because then you're taking away his aggressiveness. So when the Rangers brought him up, they just felt it wasn't going to hurt him to have some downtime, like striking out a lot, because that's important.
He's hit 27 home runs and driven in 76. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He has good power to all fields. Curveball misses. 2-2. Minnesota and Chicago postponed because of rain. Likewise, Kansas City have a rain problem. Gene Mauch looking on and looking for that championship here tonight of the Western Division.
And he stayed away from the media for as long as he could today.
Came out. Fastball up.
Well, he strikes out Parrish with the breaking ball. Now here comes the heater upstairs out of the strike zone. Right by Incaviglia.
Here's Tom Pashori. No, you were talking about Gene Mauch staying away from the media. He stayed in the outfield during batting practice. He was out behind second base, out in the outfield, just stayed away from them. But then after the Angels finished batting practice, went into the clubhouse, he came back out, sat down on the bench, and was as available as he could be for questions.
Well, that's the manager's job. That goes along with all the bunting and hitting and running, is the fact that you've got to deal with the media. And you could see that that's the perfect way for a manager to avoid the media. They cannot get at you if you're on the field.
You speak from experience.
Yes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away by Tom Pashori, a former University of Houston defensive back. Long time ago. He's had quite a career, though.
He's bounced around and been successful. And Gene Mauch, when our people from KTLA were coming down here today to set everything up, he was in uniform at 2:30. You don't think he was ready?
Struck him out. A breaking pitch, and Pashoric is down, and so are the Rangers. He struck out the side, nothing doing. For Texas in their half of the second. As we go to the bottom of the second, there's no score. Coming up for the Angels, it'll be George Hendrick, Bobby Grich, and Rick Burleson.
The one big question when it comes to trucks is who? Who gives you a powerful 2.4-liter engine? Toyota. Who gives you more standard payload than any truck in its class? Toyota. Who gives you 3 across seating? And who does it all for only $62.98? The 1986 Toyota Standard Bed is who? The #1 selling small truck in America. Who else? Nobody.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
The thing about my mother is she just knew we had it in us to do something with our lives. She was so sure. Well, after a while, we got to feeling that way, too.
Mother, I hear a screen door slamming, and you're calling to me. Mother, I hear your voice across every memory. You know, sometimes I lost my way, but I never felt alone. You were there for me when I struck out. and when I made it home. And now that all our younger years slip into yesterday, I want you to remember I won't drift away.
Hello?
Mom?
And you hear me calling.
Oh, baby dear, how are you?
I won't drift
I was just thinking about you.
Remember, tomorrow night at 6, see the KTLA premiere of Treasure Island, starring Robert Newton and Bobby Driscoll. That's tomorrow night at 6, right here on KTLA.
Might your name be Jim Hawkins?
That's a wonderful motion picture, though. You'll really enjoy it. Here is George Hendrick to lead things off, batting .274. Facing the left-hander Mike Mason. That's a fastball in for a strike. George with 13 home runs, 46 runs driven in. That's a base hit down the line at first. And Hendrick is going to try for 2. Incaviglia digs it out with the bare hand and throws, but not in time. And Hendrick is there with a leadoff double.
George is capable of hitting the ball from line to line, and right there he shows his versatility. Outside, rifles it down the line inside the chalk. And it's an easy double. Incaviglia does a good job of getting down there before it goes by him.
We want to mention something also as we go along. Gene Mauch's mother is here tonight, Mamie, and she is celebrating her 84th birthday and watching her son's team try to win a Western Division title tonight. Happy birthday, Mamie.
You think Gene told Mom, I'd like to give you this one as a present?
I wouldn't be surprised. Bobby Grich trying to get Hendrick over to third. How's he going to go about it? Trying to go to right field with it.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to hit the ball on the ground to second base. Bobby Grich can inside out the ball with the best of them.
A long look down to Moose Stubing coaching at third. Bobby at .281, 9 home runs, 30 runs driven in. Now he's going to bunt him over there. Don Slott, the catcher, makes the play to Pete O'Brien. And again, as they did in the first, the Angels have a runner at third and only 1 out.
Well, Gene Mauch gave Bobby Grich 1 swing to get him over there and then decided to go to the sacrifice, the surefire way. Bobby Grich does the job.
Designated hitter up there. But you were right. And Grich trying to go to right, and then they said, okay, fine. We'll bunt him over.
The manager likes to do that. Take 1 swing for yourself. Earlier this year, Moose Stubing gave Jack Howell the pull the first pitch, and you're going to bunt after that, so you get a home run.
Burleson takes a strike. Rick is the designated hitter tonight, batting .281 with 5 home runs and 26 runs driven in. No score. Bottom of the second. Runner at third, only 1 out. Burleson with a chance to put the Angels on top. One and one on Burleson.
Mike Mason tries to hide that ball. He's hunched over as he comes home. He's sort of a slow motion Al Roboski when he bends over coming home.
Toward third again, and Buechele plays it. This time Hendrick holds there, and the throw goes to first, and nothing doing on the man at third, and he has to hold there.
Now, what you're seeing now is the first time through the lineup, and these Angels are a little bit over-anxious, Bob. Both Downing and Burleson, who have been good RBI men through the season, have just been a little over-anxious trying to knock that first run in. And Hendrick does the job right there, knowing that the ball's going to third and holds his bag.
Here's Dick Schofield. With 54 runs driven in for a shortstop and a .254 batting average and 12 home runs. An outstanding season for the young man. And he has been a strong contributor to the success of the Angels.
Plus the way he can play shortstop.
Foul tip held on to by Slaught. One and one on Dick Schofield. 2 out, runner at third.
Mason wanted that one.
Two balls, one strike. Popped up, but it's not going to be playable. Two and two on Dick Schofield. Milwaukee, under their new interim manager, Tom Trebelhorn, leading Baltimore 2-0 in the top of the ninth. Pete Vukovich started. Detroit beat the Yankees 3-2. Schofield trying to get something done here with 2 out. Runner at third. Struck him out. Painted the inside corner that time. Schofield is caught looking, and another threat goes by the board. No runs. A base hit, a man left at third. 2 stranded by the Angels after 2 innings of play here at the Big A. Still no score.
Forging, fitting up, hand finishing. Exacting standards that say nothing is complete until it's right. One beer is brewed with these same values. Budweiser. The most expensive ingredients. Exclusive beechwood aging for a clean, crisp taste. Because this Bud's for you.
Europe is a bargain if you know where to shop. TWA gives you a jolly good bargain to London. Or Barcelona, the beauty of Spain for a great price. Paris, what a bargain Paris is. Or the splendor of Rome for less than you dreamed. And when 2 or more travel together, you get a free Hertz rental car. Plus, at select hotels, a free night for everyone paid for. So call your travel agent or TWA.
Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
This day is there in your IDS financial plan. It was called contingency savings, but it turned into the wedding you always wanted to give her. IDS planners are specialists who know that your plan isn't just numbers. It's a picture of how to get what you want out of life. IDS at American Express Company.
Let us remind you as we go into the top of the third here that Angels Baseball is brought to you in part by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. Who could ask for anything more? They have birthday greetings up on the message board for Gene Walk's mom, who's here tonight celebrating her 84th. John Candelaria, who struck out the side in the second, will be facing catcher Don Slaught. Slaught batting .260 with 13 home runs and 42 runs driven in. The breaking pitch way outside to him. No score here in the top of the third. Angels with opportunities in the first and the second. But they went by the board. Little tight. 2 balls, no strikes. The bottom 3 in the batting order, Slaught, Buechele, and Hara. Fouled away. How long does it take to settle in? Should they be about settled in one time through the lineup or so?
I think so. 2-3 innings. It should be okay. Now they should really gear in because they just squandered 2 scoring opportunities, and I think they have to just kick themselves.
Again fouled away by Slaught. The count is 2-2 on the former UCLA catcher. Mr. and Mrs. Autry up in their box viewing tonight's action and hoping for a little champagne party at the end of the evening. Strike 3 call. Slaught caught looking at a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and that's 4 in a row set down by John Candelaria. That'll bring up Steve Buechele, the third baseman. That's a pretty good spot, Joseph.
Well, left-handers usually pitch outside, and you can really surprise those right-hand hitters, especially when you start the ball inside, and it'll come back over the corner of the plate.
John Candelaria has won 8. He has lost 2. His earned run average 2.75, and all of that is around a season in which he underwent elbow surgery and has come back strong. Buechele, a .244 hitter.
And years ago, you would never think of going through surgery during the season and being able to pitch in that same season.
Toward right center field. Coming on is Pettis. Can't get to it. One hops him. Skids away, and Buechele's going to wind up at third as Pettis, who tried to make the diving catch, couldn't get there.
Well, I think Gary Pettis was a little premature maybe in calling for that ball. It just seemed to keep going away from him, and I think George Hendrick might have had an easier time with it. Buechele hits the ball hard, but as the right-hander hits the ball to right field, it goes slicing away from Gary Pettis, and it just keeps going away from him. And it come up and hit him, and you can see where George Hendrick is right behind him. He might have just taken charge of that ball a little bit too early.
He was a long way away from center field. Here's Toby Harrah, one of the veterans on this club, along with a Paciorek in the lineup tonight, and a Parrish. And you could probably throw an O'Brien into that neighborhood. O'Brien's been around 3 or 4 years. Infield comes in for the play at the plate, and a check swing roller inside the bag at first will produce a run for Texas, and Harrah's going to wind up with a double. Harrah with a ground ball double just inside the bag at first puts Texas on top 1-0.
And you can see where 2 different managers, 2 different philosophies. Gene Mauch was in for the play at the plate. However, even if he was back, Wally Joyner would not have had that double down the line.
So Buechele comes on to score. That'll bring up Scott Fletcher, and Texas leads 1-0. Out at second is Toby Harrah, who is the only remaining member, I think, on any active roster of the Washington Senator Club that left Washington and moved to Texas to become the Rangers.
That was after they moved to Minnesota to become the Twins.
Right, and then a new franchise was awarded to Washington, and it became the Texas Rangers. And Harrah is the only active player, I think, from that club when they made the move. 1-ball count here on Fletcher. The curveball misses outside. One away. Texas leading 1-0. Trying to stave off what would seem to be the inevitable. Out of play. Slicing back to the right side.
Well, it's awfully tough for Bobby Valentine to say we're not going to let them do it against us with 7 games to play in the next 10 days.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bobby Grich can't get it. Here comes Harrah around third. Hendrick up with it. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off, and the runner holds at first, and it's 2-0. They let it go. They might have a chance at the plate. It was a strong throw by George Hendrick. It's a base hit by Fletcher and an RBI, and Texas leads 2-0.
Well, Scott Fletcher's had a fine year. He hits the ball in the hole. Bobby Grich starts diving, but it's too late. It's by him. Hendrick charges the ball, makes a strong throw to the plate, and Doug DeCinces chose to cut it off. It would have been close at the plate.
Here's Ruben Sierra. Had a base hit back in the first, was out trying to steal. Still only 1 out. Texas getting 2 here. A triple, a double, and a single. RBI number 48 on the year for Scott Fletcher. He leads at first. So the Angels are going to have to play catch-up here tonight, and they have done that often enough over the course of the year. That's a strike with a fastball. 2-1.
They have really had a crop of rookies in this American League. And this young man, Sierra, with 15 home runs, he has done a good job for Bobby Valentine.
He's got an 8-game hitting streak on the line here tonight, and now has a 9-game hitting streak with the base hit that he got in the first inning. In the last 40 games he's played, he's batting .331. And draws a walk. So the inning is still not over. The first base on ball is given up by Candelaria.
And John, as I mentioned, has dropped down. He does throw from the side, but not quite as much as he's been pitching tonight. But you tend to get your hand underneath the ball, and that'll cause that ball to go up and away.
Pete O'Brien, the first baseman in there. Flight out to center his first time. He's hit safely in 9 out of the last 11. First and second occupied. Only 1 out, 2-0 Texas. We're in the top of the third. Check swing, roller, and foul. 0-2 on Pete O'Brien. He's another chap from Pebble Beach. He and Incaviglia, both coming out of that area.
Tough duty.
Tough duty, growing up around Pebble Beach. A ball and 2 strikes. Umpiring crew, as we told you, Dale Ford at the plate, Rick Reed at first base, Greg Kosk at second, and Rich Garcia works at third. Angels look for the double play ball. O'Brien down on strikes. 5 strikeouts for John Candelaria.
The designated hitter,
Well, the sweeping breaking ball from Candelaria, and O'Brien misses it by a long ways. He's just reaching, and it's just too big a breaking ball.
Here's Parrish, called out on strikes in the second. He was the first strikeout victim of Candelaria, who struck out 4 in a row, and then they got 3 hits off him and 2 runs. Fastball sails outside. He has popped some pretty good fastballs.
Yes, he has.
Fletcher at second. Ruben Sierra's at first base. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Parrish batting at .278. Outfield straight away for him. Drops a curveball in for a strike, and it's 2-1.
Well, it's just straight up and down for Larry Parrish. He uses the whole field. Likes to hit the ball right center, left center.
Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two runs on 4 hits for Texas. As you look to the bottom of the third, Boone would lead it off. You take a look at the runners. Fletcher at second base, and Sierra's over at first. Towards short. Schofield will go the short way to Bobby Grich at second. 6-4 on the force out to get Sierra coming down. Texas gets 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a couple, so they break on top here in the top of the third. As we go to the bottom of the third, Texas 2, the Angels nothing, and coming up to lead it off for the Angels, it'll be Bob Boone, Gary Pettis, and Wally Joyner.
How about these 1986 Angels? A championship team. And many observers say it'll even be more exciting next season. Share in next year's action with your own season ticket. You'll have the same great seats for every home game. And first right to postseason game tickets, too. Get your name on the list for 1987 Angel season ticket information. Just send your name and address, and the Angels will be back to you soon. In the meantime, catch Angels pennant fever.
Want a new way to get your kicks?
Now it goes to St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City. Looks
The Toyota MR2.
You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico.
Mid-engine, 16 valves, 2-seater.
Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino.
Very affordable Toyota MR2.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
It's a kick.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Every half hour of every business day, 106 new corporations are formed. $1 million is spent on cab fares. 3 million newspapers are purchased. And every half hour of every business day, the PSA Expressway flies between Los Angeles and San Francisco. And it's a good thing, because every half hour, more business people fly there and back than between any two cities in the world. Catch our smile, the PSA Expressway to San Francisco every half hour.
Want to remind you, Angels Baseball is brought to you by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, the #1 name in radials. Come up to Goodyear and save. Bob Boone will lead it off against the Rangers, who have broken on top here 2-0. Boone will be followed by Pettis and Joyner in the bottom of the third. The attendance will be in the 40,000 range. I know coming by here earlier today, they had a long line waiting for tickets outside in anticipation of what could happen here this evening. As you're going to look at it around the Big A this evening. Boone taking a strike from Mike Mason. Mason in 126 innings coming in here, given up 124 hits, just slightly less than 1 per inning. And he's given up 2 hits in 2 innings here tonight. A single in the first. They got a man to third. Couldn't do anything with that. A leadoff double by Hendrick, and that too was wasted. A strike to Boone on the inside. 1-2.
You think his back is sore when he finishes pitching a ball game? That really looks uncomfortable, doesn't it, the way he pitches?
The way he curls around there.
He's bent over right to start with.
Two and 2 on Bob Boone. At .228 on the year with 7 home runs and 49 runs driven in. To the shortstop, Fletcher. 1 out. That'll bring up Gary Pettis, who has one of the 2 hits off Mason. Pettis lined a single to center as he led things off in the bottom of the first. Was sacrificed to second and then stole third. But he was out in a rundown between third and home. Bunts it foul up the third base side, trying to bunt his way on.
Fans are trying to get a wave going.
One strike count on Gary Pettis. Rangers lead 2-0. We're in the bottom of the third. Looper out into right center field. Coming over is Incaviglia, and he's there to make the catch. Pettis flies out to right. With 2 out and nobody on, the batter Wally Joyner sacrificed his first time up. He has had a long couple of years of baseball, as we had told you earlier. Dating back to a year ago when he came out of spring training and went to AAA ball. Fouls one back. And out of AAA ball, he went to winter ball. Out of winter ball, he came to spring training. And out of spring training, he came with a big club. And that's a lot of baseball, Joe.
It is a lot of baseball, Bob, but he accelerated his progress for sure. He came to spring training and made this ball club.
Takes a strike. He's in the hole, 0-2.
And carried this ball club for the first half of the season.
He did.
So he might be a little tired now.
A ball and 2 strikes on Joyner. August 5th was the last home run they hit. Rolls it toward first for Pete O'Brien, who will play it unassisted. And the Angels go down 1-2-3 in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. So after 3 innings of play, it's Texas 2, the Angels nothing. Coming up in the Texas fourth, Pete Incaviglia will lead it off. Tom Paciorek to follow, and then Don Schlutt.
Who says you can't have old world taste and a new world waste? Old world aging and the new world's youthful spirit. Europe's finest hops in America's finest light beer. Michelob Light, old world quality from Anheuser-Busch. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can have it all.
Why go to some fast food place that serves dried out chicken when you can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken? They always have fresh, juicy chicken, and that secret blend of 11 herbs and spices makes it taste delicious.
Finger licking good. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Anyone else's chicken may be left high and dry.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Maybe you heard just a little crack is okay. Maybe you heard cocaine can't really hurt you. Well, you heard wrong. There's no home run on cocaine. You get me? Are you listening? Just a little bit of crack or cocaine can be addictive or even kill you. That's the real truth. The lie is, it's the other guy who's going to die.
Cocaine, the big lie. Call 1-800-662-HELP. Furnished by Major League Baseball in cooperation with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, friends. This is Gene Autry. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank all of you great Angel fans for the way you have supported the 1986 team. You've been wonderful. And the spirit that you've shown the Angels, believe me, it really shows now. So come on out and see the playoffs, and let's hope the World Series. We'll all have a lot of fun.
The chairman of the board with his accolades to the fans, and I think that's well said because they indeed have been a large part of the success. They have supported this club over 32,000 per night, Joey, is what they've averaged. They're up at 2.5+ million.
For sure, and that man, after 26 years, really deserves it. The World Series, that is.
Here is Pete Incaviglia, fouled one away. The 0-1 pitch back to Candelaria and broke his back. Candelaria takes care of Incaviglia. One away, gets the leadoff man here in the fourth. That'll bring up Tom Paciorek. Texas leading 2-0. Paciorek at one time in his career, and about in the middle of his career, left the Atlanta organization and went all the way to A-ball, Joey, and fought his way back up to the big leagues. He grounds one to Schofield in short. 2 up, 2 out here in the fourth inning. That'll bring up Don Schlutt.
Tom Paciorek is still an old schooler. He believes it takes hard work to earn your way, and as you said, he went all the way back to A-ball and came back and all of a sudden started to hit a lot of home runs for the White Sox and come over here with Texas. Played some with the Braves, with the Mets.
Here's Don Schlutt, the catcher, a strikeout victim his first time up. Loops one out toward right field, toward the line. Coming hard is George Hendrick to make the play. And the Rangers go down 1-2-3 in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors. As we go to the bottom of the fourth here in this night that could mean a Western Division championship for the Angels, it's still the Texas Rangers 2, the Angels nothing. And coming up in the Angel fourth, Brian Downing to lead it off, Doug DeCinces to follow, and then George Hendrick.
You've just done change your new Toyota 4x4. You've turned loose 135 horses of pure turbo power with high running ground clearance and independent front suspension. So when you get it home, maybe you better cage it. Toyota 4x4s starting at $89.98 are the #1 selling compact 4x4 trucks in America. Who could ask for anything more?
General Telephone gave me an office, which is wonderful. But today, this woman came in and said, "You're our spokesman. What do you think our slogan should be?" I felt a bit on the spot. I don't usually write the words I say. So I asked, "Well, what do you want to tell the people?" And she said, "Oh, GTE was listening, trying to be more responsive. The complaints were down." She went on and on. I finally said, "How about we hear you?" And she said, "Fine." So here goes. GTE, we hear you.
When an urgent package leaves your hands, make sure the hands you leave it in can deliver. Express Mail overnight service from your post office delivers over city, over state, overnight, over whatever stands in the way. Over 97% of the time and climbing. For about half what most others charge. £2, just $10.75. Express Mail overnight service. When we say overnight, we mean overnight.
By the way, we'd like to remind you this Angels game is brought to you in part by Kentucky Fried Chicken, the people who do chicken right. Come in and try a bucket of our delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You can really do that stuff. You know that?
That fella's been waiting 26 years for the Angels to get in a World Series. And this just might be his year.
And he's sitting there with his seats.
Well, he probably said,
"I'm
I'm not going to shave until they get into the series." Brian Downing leading it off. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. He is 0 for 1 off Mike Mason. Two 2-0. Mason out of Minnesota. Pitched a year at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, then signed by the Rangers. Too high, 3-0. Texas leading 2-0. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Bobby Valentine trying to stave it off. 3-1. He has had some young players, Joe Torre, really play well for him. Getting a lot of mileage out of an Incaviglia and a Sierra. Taken there by Buechele, the third baseman. He throws Downing out for the first out here in the fourth. That's 6 in a row set down by the Rangers. Tomorrow night at 8, Karen Richmond and Dean Butler star in Gidget's Summer Reunion. That's tomorrow night at 8 right here on Channel 5. Doug DeCinces. Tapped back to the mound his first time up. They've had 2 hits off Mason. And the fastball sails over the outside part of the plate for a strike. Doug at 261.
First couple innings have not been characteristic of the Angels, but the time of year and what this game means, I think, influenced their over-anxiousness. Because they've been a very patient ball club, which is evidenced by how many games they've won late in the game, in the late innings.
Doug DeCinces asked Dale Ford to look at the baseball. He did, and he's going to throw it out. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. Outfield straight away for DeCinces. Two and 1. The last hit was back in the second inning for the Angels. That was the leadoff double by George Henry. Popped up. Who wants it? Pete O'Brien, the first baseman, comes in near the mound and makes the play. DeCinces out, 2 up, 2 out here in the fourth. 7 in a row set down by Mason, and that'll bring up George Henry.
Well, Mason's been moving the ball around, inside, outside, changing speeds. And that's what pitching's all about. It took him a couple of innings to get relaxed out on the mound. Dodged a couple of bullets in innings 1 and 2. And now seems to have settled in and he's retired 7 in a row.
George with a double back in the second to lead things off, and he was stranded at third. Hits one up the gap in right center. Incaviglia comes over, and he's there to make the play. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. That's 8 in a row now, set down by Mike Mason. And after 4, it's still Texas 2 and the Angels nothing. Coming up in the Texas 5th, Steve Buechele will lead it off. Toby Harrah to follow, and then Scott Fletcher.
Who says you can't have it all? Who says you can't be buttoned up and down to earth underneath it all?
Who says you can't have super premium taste and a less filling beer?
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
For all those performance cars that want to keep performing even in wet, sloppy weather, Goodyear introduces the Eagle GT Plus 4. High performance and all-weather performance in one remarkable tire. The Eagle GT Plus 4. The performance won't be canceled by the weather. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them.
Fire that musket, and I cuts his throat.
Anchors away. Captain Long John Silver's back on the high seas.
I hate John Silver.
A KTLA premiere of the Disney classic Treasure Island. Scoundrels beware.
Stand by for trouble.
There's pirates aplenty. And buried treasure to boot. Relive the adventure. Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. Saturday at 6 on Channel 5.
As we go to the 5th inning, Steve Buechele leads it off. We'll tell you Angels baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. Buechele, who tripled in the 3rd, up the gap in right center, and it was Gary Pettis who came over to try to make a diving catch of it, and it one-hopped him and ricocheted off Pettis toward the right field corner. And Buechele wound up at 3rd, and he came on Toby Harrah's ground ball double inside the bag at first for the first run of the Rangers. Then Fletcher, or Harrah, was driven in by Fletcher to lead it 2-0. We had told you that Mason had set down 8 in a row. He set down 9 in a row, dating back to a sacrifice after Hendrick had doubled to start the 2nd. Toward 3rd, but foul. Tim Foley is their 3rd base coach down there. He was a big part of the 1982 success of the Angel Club.
He's been in a few pennant races. 79 Pirates.
There's Timmy. Strike in at the knees with a breaking pitch here to Buechele. 0-2. Tim Foley coaching at 3rd. It's also a fairly young coaching staff that Bobby Valentine has. He has Art Howe coaching at 1st. He has Joe Ferguson on his bench. All those guys are not that far away from their playing days. A year or 2 years.
Tom House, another young one, the pitching coach.
And that's some of the gang in the Brain Trust and Bobby Valentine.
Joe
1
Ferguson.
ball, 2 strikes. Didn't go after it. 2-2.
Tom House, left-hand pitcher, mainly with the Braves. Best remembered for catching Hank Aaron's 714th home run
when he was in the
bullpen at Atlanta Stadium.
7:15.
7:15.
2-2 pitch. Struck him out. A fastball caught him looking. That is strikeout number 6 for John Candelaria.
Well, Candelaria makes a tremendous pitch with this fastball. Knee high. See you later. And Boone helps it a little bit.
Here's Toby Harrah. Had that ground ball double inside the bag at first to drive in the first Ranger run here tonight. Over but low for a ball. With that double, his 41st RBI of the year. There's a strike. 1-1. They shade him a little bit to the opposite field. Some room out in left center. Fouls one away, trying to go the other way.
Candelaria is throwing hard.
The Rangers lead 2-0. They got 2 in the third. To break on top, they bat here in the top of the 5th. Good look at John. Struck him out. Painted that outside corner. Hara doesn't like the call to Dale Ford. But that pitch has been given all night long since the very first inning.
Well, John gives you that slow windup and then pops it right at the end. You know, he's really deliberate. And then at the end, he's like a buggy whip. The ball just leaves that hand and zeroes in on the corner. That was an excellent pitch.
7 strikeouts for John Candelaria. That's 7 in a row set down by Candelaria since the 2-out or 1-out walk that he gave up back in the third when they got the 2 runs off him. The batter is Scott Fletcher. Takes a strike. Candelaria stayed on the outside part of the plate. Fletcher out of the RBI single in the third. He is 1 for 2. Out of play. Slicing upstairs. No balls, 2 strikes on the Texas shortstop. Just missed with a curveball. 1-2. They shade Fletcher a little bit to the opposite field. He's not a power sort, only 3 home runs. They have had 4 hits off Candelaria. 3 of those 4 came in the third when they scored twice. Towards center field, base hit. Went out and got the curveball that time. A 2-out single by Scott Fletcher, his second hit of the night. And the inning stays alive for Ruben Sierra.
Well, he picks that front leg up, gets a head start on Candelaria, and sort of jams himself. And he flares it into center field. He's a neighbor of mine, by the way, Robert.
Fletcher?
Lives in Marietta, Georgia.
Anybody that lives in Marietta, Georgia is
Has
a
to
neighbor.
be a neighbor. That's right.
Ruben Sierra, 1 for 1 with a walk, and takes a strike from Candelaria. Candelaria set down 7 in a row before giving up the 2-out single to Fletcher here. One and one. Throw to first and Fletcher is back. He's stolen 12 bases, but he's been caught 10 times. 1-2 on Sierra. In the middle innings here in the 5th. Angels trailing 2-0. A win tonight wins the West for them. Two balls, 2 strikes. A loss carries it over to tomorrow afternoon.
And you wonder how Sierra can hit. We mentioned he's hit 15 home runs. He really steps out with that front foot. Clemente used to do the same thing. However, Clemente kept that bat back and his weight back. Watch the front foot.
He really steps in the bucket. Who was another great bucket hitter? Al Simmons, they said. I never saw him play, but they say he was a bucket hitter. Joe Medwick, another name that comes to mind. I didn't see Ducky play either. Full count, 3-2. Joyner moves behind the runner at first.
You're not trying to trick me with that, are you?
No. No. There's the position at first. Toward third, fair ball. DeCinces with the dandy stop behind the bag and a long throw to get it. Nice play by Doug DeCinces to end the inning. No runs. A base hit and a man left for Texas. They've stranded 3. So we go to the bottom of the 5th here at the Big A. It's still the Texas Rangers leading 2-0 over the Angels. Coming up in the Angel 5th to try to get us started, Bobby Grich, Rick Burleson, and Dick Schofield.
You shaped it in your mind. Total performance. Now the all-new Toyota Supra brings it alive. Super Power, created by a 3-liter, 24-valve, 200-horsepower engine. Super Suspension, racing type, double wishbone, fully independent. Super Cockpit, where you perform. The new Toyota Supra, performance without compromise. Now the Supra dynasty begins. Who could ask for anything more?
1 out of every 3 of you will have to go to court sometime in your life. When you go to court, you don't want a judge in the hip pocket of some politician or a special interest group. And you don't want a judge who's afraid of them either. California has a Supreme Court that's tough, fair, and honest. In this state, justice isn't for sale. It's for everyone. That's a California tradition worth keeping.
If you need anything or everything for you, your family, or your home, come to the one-day sale this Saturday at the Broadway. For just 14 hours from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., you'll save 20 to 50% throughout the store. Whatever you need, from furniture to fashions, you'll find it at the Broadway at 20 to 50% off. But it only lasts one day, this Saturday at the Broadway, so don't wait or you'll miss it.
We go to the bottom of the 5th here. Bobby Grich will lead it off. Angels baseball is brought to you in part by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. Who could ask for anything more? Other members of the Angel officialdom upstairs, Vice President Mike Schrader and his wife, watching from the Angel box, just off the first base side, behind home plate. Bobby Grich sacrificed his first time up. Tries to get it started against Mike Mason, who has been a bit of a puzzle. He hits one high in the air into short right field for Pete Incaviglia. One away. Incaviglia has been a fairly busy chap out there. 3 chances so far. 1 out. That'll bring up Rick Burleson. Boston was put on hold again. Toronto beat them 1-0. So it'll be another day before they cinch the East. Another couple of days. Burleson bounced out to third his first time up there. That's 10 in a row set down by Mason, and he starts Burleson with a strike. Why is he such a puzzle, Joseph?
He's moving the ball around, and he's left-handed.
Towards short, Fletcher there. On a couple of hops has it and throws Burleson out. That's 11 in a row.
He's been getting ahead in the count. He got behind in the count the first couple of innings, and as we mentioned, he dodged the bullets. But he's getting ahead. He has a good moving fastball. He's moving the ball in and out. And plus, he's dealing with an over-anxious group.
Dick Schofield, a strikeout victim. Matter of fact, the only strikeout posted by Mason. Schofield trying to go the other way, chased a high pitch away and foul, tipped it into the mid of slot for strike 1.
Little over-anxious, but how many times have we seen the Angels just seem to be sleepwalking and all of a sudden come back, score 3 or 4 runs?
They were on the ropes last night when they won it in the bottom of the 8th inning, thanks to Reggie's home run. They had a 4-run inning as it turned out, but it was Reggie's home run that made the difference.
And Reggie was very unhappy about not being in there tonight, the night when they hoped to clinch it.
1-1 on Schofield. 2 out, nobody on. Hits it high in the air to left field. Back goes Pashoric at the edge of the track. Now comes in and makes the catch for the final out of the inning, and that is 12 in a row set down by Mike Mason. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels in their half of the 5th. And after 5 here at the Big A on the Friday night, could be a clinch night. First game of this 3-game series. Texas 2, the Angels nothing. And coming up in the Texas 6th, O'Brien, Parrish, and Incaviglia.
Claude Gannet, Michel Voulier, and Georges Louin rushed their bread to restaurants all over the San Francisco area. The problem was, some days they wouldn't bake enough. Other days they baked too much.
They didn't realize Pacific Bell can tailor a localized short-distance 800 number just for them, so their customers could call in their orders daily, and George could keep an exact count of how much to bake.
Today, their Pacific Bell 800 service keeps them organized, keeps costs down, which means their profits just keep rising. Great meals begin with 10 items or less. Surprise! Because sometimes you're in a hurry to get the few things you need. That's why at Lucky, we're keeping our quick check lane open during all hours of business, day or night. A quick check lane that's always open, together with lower prices, is another reason great meals begin at Lucky. Now even quicker.
Talk about quick, Bob. That's one of the quickest moves we've seen all year.
For all those performance cars that want to keep performing even in wet, sloppy weather, Goodyear introduces the Eagle GT Plus 4. High performance and all-weather performance in one remarkable tire. The Eagle GT Plus 4. The performance won't be canceled by the weather. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them.
A championship season of action and the promise of even more excitement in 1987 for the Angels. You can be a part of it as the beat goes on. Share the fun of Angels baseball with your own season tickets. Just send your name and address to 1987 Angels Season Tickets, Post Office Box 2000, Anaheim 92803. Jimmy Reese.
He has his season tickets
Ruth
for next year.
Reggie, right. He has seen just about all of it, or a whole lot of it. A foreign object fell onto the field out at right. That's retrieved and put away by Gary Pettis, and we'll start the top of the 6th inning. Pete O'Brien lead it off. He's flied out, struck out. 0 for 2 off Candelaria, but Texas leads it 2-0.
John, incidentally, Candelaria has come to pitch tonight. Just had the one inning where the triple and then the off-field double.
O'Brien going after that sweeping curveball.
Otherwise, it has been servings such as that.
Well, he has struck out 7. Has retired 8 out of the last 9. Misses with a pitch there, and it's 1-2 on O'Brien. O'Brien to be followed by Parrish and then Incaviglia. Didn't go after the curveball that time. 2-2. Big Larry Parrish on deck. In ball games in which Candelaria has pitched for the Angels, they are 11-3. Whoa! Candelaria wanted that curveball and didn't get it, and the count is full.
I don't know how O'Brien kept from swinging at that pitch, but Candy wanted it on the call.
The fastball got inside on him, fouled it away.
And that's why he kept him swinging at the breaking ball. He was a little late on that fastball.
He struck out the side in the second. Go ahead, Joey.
No, I was just going to say he might be getting another fastball.
Third ball. Struck him out. Strikeout number 8.
Sorry, we both guessed wrong.
You and O'Brien.
That's right. Well, he figures he threw the fastball by me. I'm going to look for it again, and whoops. He gives a little bit right there.
Kind of weak in the knee, was he?
A little rubbery.
Here is Parrish, who is 0 for 2, a strikeout victim, 1 of 8. Candelaria struck out 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 more in the 5th. And gets O'Brien on strikes here in the 6th. A 1 ball, no strike count on Parrish. When Parrish was what you would call an everyday player as far as position player with Montreal, the third baseman had an outstanding throwing arm. He's a big guy. Candelaria falls behind 3-0. But he could really throw, Joey, when he first came to the big league.
He was a good player. One of those players. He really wasn't pretty doing it, but he got the job done.
On 3-0 with a big swing and fouled it back upstairs.
Now Those guys who hit 30 home runs aren't going to be taken too many times 3-0.
2-0 Texas. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Fouled off Boone. Full count, 3-2.
That's what you call power, strength against strength. Candelaria throwing fastball out over the plate, and that's where Parrish likes to swing at it. And he was just overmatched that time.
Outfield straight away for him. He's hit 27 home runs here in 86, and he takes a walk. Just missed with the fastball away. The second base on ball is given up by Candelaria. And in something like 20 out of 27 ball games that Candelaria has started for the Angels, he has given up only 2 walks in those 20 games.
John will challenge you. That's why he gives up a lot of home runs, especially early in the game. However, when you're into the middle of the ball game, it's the 6th inning, and you've got a guy like a Larry Parrish who's capable of giving them another run, he'd just as soon nibble on 3-2 than throw it down the middle.
Parrish on at first, 1 out. This is Incaviglia. He has struck out and tapped back to the mound. It's a curveball high and deep to right. Back goes George Hendrick on the track and makes the catch. Pete hit it a long way to the opposite field. We told you early the first time he was up, he has power to all fields. And he put Hendrick right up against the fence in right field. Dead right. 2 out.
He's going to put some people up against the fence in right, left, and center. He takes a breaking ball away, and what seems like just an ordinary fly ball has tremendous lift and carry, as you see Hendrick going back toward the wall and making the catch. Not too much more room to go.
The batter is Tom Paciorek with 2 out and a runner at first. He has struck out and grounded out. Takes a ball outside from Candelaria. One after the curveball, 1-1.
Now, Paciorek was thinking right field also, but missed the pitch.
Don Schlutt, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. And again, Paciorek trying to go the other way. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Paciorek hits the ball down better than the ball up, if there's any kind of mustard on it.
Just missed with it. 2-2. Pettis shading him just slightly toward right. Not much out in center field. Just a step or 2. Struck him out. And not a very good swing for Paciorek. And that is 9 strikeouts for John Candelaria. And Texas leaves a man. They've stranded 4. No runs, no hits in the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the Texas Rangers 2 and the Angels nothing. And coming up in the Angels 6th inning, Bob Boone will lead it off. Gary Pettis to follow, and then Wally Joyner.
Who's got a truck that can do a ton of work? Toyota is who. Who's got the most payload of any small truck? Toyota is who. Who's got power? Who's got an electronically fuel-injected engine? And who's got a towing option that can handle 2.5 tons? Toyota is who. 1986 Toyota 1-ton. And who else? Nobody.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Hamburger places may be good at making hamburgers, but when they try to make chicken, it doesn't always fly. That's why I count on the chicken experts, Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Colonel's secret recipe makes their chicken tender, juicy, and downright delicious.
Finger licking good. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Those burger places are only fooling themselves.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
The human eye is remarkably sensitive to light, and that's why we make the GE soft white bulb. It's beautiful to see by and bright enough to work by. An ordinary frosted bulb has a glaring hot spot because it doesn't have the high diffusion coating of a GE soft white. A soft, warm, glowing light that's sensitive to the needs of the human eye. GE, we bring good things to life. look for a money-saving coupon in the food section of this week's newspaper.
Mike Mason ready to go as you look at the signs here at the Big A, and we'll tell you this Angels game is brought to you by PSA, the expressway from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Every half hour from 6:30 in the morning to 8 at night, every business day. That's the general feeling around here. The Angels expect to get Boston, although Boston's going to have to wait a couple of days to celebrate. They were beaten tonight by Toronto on Jesse Barfield's 36th home run of the year. 1-0. He hit it in the top of the 12th inning. And here the Angels trail Texas. A win for them clinches it in the West. But they're down 2-0. Bob Boone to lead it off against Mason and takes high for a ball. Bottom of the 6th inning. Mason gets a strike in there to even it up at 1-1. He has retired 12 in a row. You expect them to start to make a move, do you not?
Well, I have just said that the Angels always seem, there have been a number of games where they just seem to be very flat, and all of a sudden a base hit, a walk, and they're back into it.
They haven't had a hit since the 2nd inning. The leadoff double by Hendrick. Boone almost picked off by that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But you can see the way Mike Mason is working. He's staying away, strike 1, strike 2, come in off the plate to Boone, 2-2. He's got all the stuff working for him.
Out of play, slicing upstairs, count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you joined us a little late, the Angels had scoring opportunities in the first 2. They got a man at third with 1 out, but nothing came of all that. So they're down 2-0. Boone works at 3-2.
I talked about Mason getting ahead. He has been helped also with the Angels being a little over anxious and swinging at bad pitches.
High chop over the mound. Fletcher, the shortstop, near the bag with it. Tosses out Boone. That is 13 in a row. Set down by Mason. 1 out. And brings up Gary Pettis. Sunday night at 6, by the way, Sir John Gielgud stars in the world television premiere of the Canterville Ghost. That's Sunday night at 6, right here on Channel 5. Gary Pettis with 1 of the 2 hits off Mason tonight. He singled back in the first, bunted over to second, stole third, and got caught in a rundown between home and third on a ground ball hit by Downing, and he was out. Takes a strike. Curveball is hit well and deep to left. Back is Pashorek. He won't get it. Goodbye. 2-1. Pettis with his 4th home run of the year. And he gets the Angels on the board. Pettis getting a standing O, cuts the lead in half. Texas 2-1 now.
Well, if you remember in the last year's playoff, Ozzie Smith had never hit a home run left-handed. I don't believe Gary Pettis has ever hit a home run right-handed. And they want him to come back out for a curtain call.
Some debris thrown on the field out and right, so they have to retrieve that. A look into the Angel dugout.
Here he comes.
So he gets him on the board. That's only the 3rd hit off Mason after he retired 13 in a row.
That put a little life back in this ballpark.
Wally Joyner batting with 1 out, bases empty. He is 0 for 1. Bounced out to first unassisted. Ball boy down the right field line had to go out and retrieve or help retrieve the debris on the field out in right center, so he gets back to his position and Joyner ready to step in.
Gary Pettis is a natural right-hand hitter. He takes the breaking ball and just drives it. He had every bit of that pitch. Pechora could just look at it.
Joyner with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Mason kind of tricked him with a pitch down around the knees on the inside part of the plate, and he had not a very good swing at it. Rolls it out to Hara at second base. Bobbled. Kicked. Can't throw in time. It'll be an error. The tying run is on base. Toby Hara unable to handle what appeared to be a fairly routine ground ball, but just that last hop was a little quick for him. He got up into the heel of his glove.
Well, you have a problem. Things start so innocently. Ground ball, routine ground ball, as you mentioned, Bobby. The problem is, after you fumble it the first time, you keep looking at the hitter. There it is, just a ground ball. Now Hara goes down, and now he boots it. Now he's half looking at the ball and half looking for Joyner, but he can't find the ball. See you later. Bobby Valentine makes his way out to the pitcher's mound.
He's going to make a change, Joseph.
That's a little surprising.
His guy out there has given up 3 hits. He still leads 2-1. And Bobby Valentine is going to go to the bullpen with 1 out, the tying run on at first base. We'll be back in just a minute.
If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Anheuser-Busch is the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family of beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Somebody still cares about quality. Anheuser-Busch.
This is not your typical ghost story. And he's not your typical ghost.
What is it?
It's the Canterville Ghost, a world premiere movie event starring Academy Award winner Sir John Gielgud, Ted Wass, Andrea Marcovici, and Alyssa Milano. He'll have you screaming with laughter.
The Canterville Ghost, a world television premiere Sunday at 6 on Channel 5. It's all new on Channel 5. Rex Reed and Bill Harris are at the movies Sunday night at 9 here on KTLA Channel 5.
That is Dale Mahorsic. He is the new Texas pitcher in a rather odd situation. You see his appearances, 56. He's 2-3, has 7 saves to his credit with an earned run average 2.30. But Mason leaves, giving up only a run, Joe, on 3 hits after 5 1/3, and still leading 2-1.
You know what this means, don't you, Bob? It looks like Reggie Jackson might wind up in this ball game.
Matter of fact, if they keep the inning going, he may wind up swinging the bat in this inning. That would put Burleson up there, and more than likely, Jackson would hit for Rick Burleson. Downing takes down and away from Mahorsic. We saw Mahorsic, I guess, in his first appearance earlier in the year. He's been around a while. Hard hit ball deep down the line and left, and it is foul, just left of the foul pole. Bobby Valentine going to his bullpen early, still leading in the ball game 2-1 with 1 out after the error had allowed Joyner to reach following the home run by Pettis. Hard hit ball deep to left center off Downing's bat, and it is gone. A home run. The Angels take the lead. just missed hitting one down the line in left and took this one over the 370 mark for his 19th home run of the year. RBIs 88 and 89, and the Angels lead it 3-2. Listen to this crowd. Here comes Bobby Valentine out of the dugout again, with Doug DeCinces due to come up there. And Brian Downing will be called out for a curtain call. And as shy as he is, I think he'll probably step out. Valentine has had his say with Mahorsik. And Joey, I would think he has to be talking to himself a little bit too.
Well, obviously Bobby Valentine wanted the right-hander to pitch to Downing and DeCinces and George Henrik and Gritch, and possibly force Gene Mauch to make some changes because he has the left-hander Williams in the bullpen. But who knows? As you see the pitch left inside to Brian Downing, and there was no doubt about this when we hit it. They can run all they want back to that fence, but that ball was nailed.
DeCinces up there. Mahorsik with a fastball, and DeCinces went after, no contact. You see where it landed out there. He drilled it over the 370 mark.
Every bit.
Doug is 0 for 2 tonight, having tapped out and popped out. Curveball misses. Angels lead it 3-2. Ground ball back to Mahorsik, spears it on the mound and throws DeCinces up. 2 out, and that'll bring up George Henrik. So what Joe Torre was talking about, perhaps they were over anxious in the early going. They've gained a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Boone started it by grounding out, but then Pettis hit a solo home run. Joyner reached on the error. Bobby Valentine changed pitchers, brought in Mahorsik, took out Mason, and Downing lit him up with a 2-run shot to put the Angels on top 3-2. George Henrik with the double to his credit tonight, 1 for 2. Takes a strike on the outside part of the plate, evens it up 1-1. Bobby Gritch on deck. Foul ball looping down toward first. O'Brien over near the stands can't get it. It's back a couple of rows. Wasn't hit very high. However, if it had stayed near the railing, he had a play on it.
He was over there in a hurry. So you say you want to be a manager, eh?
No, I never said that. Hard hit ball deep to left from Hendrick. This one is way back. It's gone. 3 home runs in the inning for the Angels, and they lead it 4-2. A curveball that sat out over the plate for George Hendrick, and he nails it for his 14th home run of the year. In the inning. 3 hits in the inning, and all have been out of the ballpark.
You talk about a sleeping giant. This 6th inning has turned into the 4th of July.
They're trying to get George to come back out.
That might be an accomplishment.
Well, it is much like Brian. It's just not in their makeup. Here's Bobby Gritch, takes a strike from Mahorsik. Bobby is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. With 1 out, Pettis homered. Joyner reached on the error. Downing homered. With 2 out, Hendrick homered. 1-2 to Bobby Gritch. chased the curveball and struck out. The inning over, but the Angels come up with 4 runs on 3 hits. They were all home runs. An error. Nobody is left. And after 6 innings of play, it's the Angels 4, the Texas Rangers 2. Coming up in the Texas 7th, it'll be Don Slaught, Steve Buechele, and Toby Harrah.
On Sunday afternoon, September 28th, the Angels want to thank you for your support over this exciting season. And to do it, the Angels will be giving better and more valuable prizes than on any other fan appreciation day in the club's 26-season history. What you're looking at is just a partial list of what you can receive. So be at the Big A Sunday the 28th. Root for the Halos as they play the Texas Rangers, and maybe you'll go home with a treasure to boot.
The Toyota Camry gives you a lot to love. Front-wheel drive, and the most trouble-free new car you can buy. Generous 5-passenger room for the family, and the most trouble-free new car. And that's why driveways all over America are filling up with new Toyota Camrys, the most trouble-free new car you can buy.
Who could ask for anything more, Toyota?
When an urgent package leaves your hands, make sure the hands you leave it in can deliver. Express Mail overnight service from your post office delivers over city, over state, overnight, over whatever stands in the way. Over 97% of the time and climbing. For about half what most others charge. £2, just $10.75. Express Mail overnight service. When we say overnight, we mean overnight.
As you look at the dressing room, Angels baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. The light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light.
Well, it looks calm and empty in there right now, Bob, but if the score remains the same, it might be a little moist in that room.
Well, you've been in those celebrations before. I've had the good fortune to be in a couple of them myself, and it's a wonderful place to be, and especially if you have a uniform on, it has to be a tremendous place to be. If you have on your best coat and best shoes, it's not such a hot place to be. Here's Don Slaught to face John Candelaria in the Texas 7th. He has struck out, flied out. 4-2, Angels. 2 of those runs belong to Mason, the other 2 to Mahorsik.
And I'll tell you, nobody's exempt in that room either. I remember in '69 with the Mets, Mayor John Lindsay got a bath also.
Curveball drops in for a strike to Slaught. 1 ball, 1 strike. The bottom 3 in the Texas batting order, Slaught, Buechele, and Harrah.
And I'm sure we'll see some activity in the Angel bullpen because you're John Candelaria into 7, and that's usually his limit, especially striking out 9. He's thrown an awful lot of pitches.
The bullpen is going to start to work right now, and they'll get 2 people up out there. 1-1 on Slaught. Fastball just misses, 2-1.
And John might be carrying that ball right now. It just looks like he forced that last pitch, and Doug Corbett warming up, and Gene Mauch has asked permission from Dale Ford to go out and talk to his pitcher. He thinks his arm is bothering him or a little bit tired, and Candelaria would love to finish it because of what this game means.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had talked it over between innings. And you go out there, he said, let me go out and see how I feel, and so on.
But that last pitch, John, I don't know if we still have that last pitch, Steve, but if you do, we don't. He just seemed to carry that pitch. And we'll just take a look as you see Dale Ford saying no trip to Bobby Valentine.
2 balls and 1 strike on Slaught. Gene Mauch makes his way back to the dugout. The Angel bullpen stays ready out there as they start to get ready. Doug Corbett starting to loosen. 2-1 on the hitter. 3-1. $46,677 paid here tonight. Slutt goes after a Candelaria fastball and doesn't get it. Full count, 3-2. $46,677 paid here tonight in anticipation of seeing the Angels clinch a Western Division title. They lead it 4-2, having trailed most of the game 2-0 before scoring 4 times in the bottom of the 6th inning. Toward third, DeCinces with a backhanded stop near the line and a dandy play to get Slutt. That's what happens when you're going to win a championship.
It's
That's
electric.
what happens when you have to make those things happen to win it.
It's electric. That was not an easy play for Doug DeCinces. Slutt hits the ball hard down the line, and DeCinces goes over for it, and the ball jumps up on him. But Doug picked the ball. You didn't see it there, but he got the glove up and made a fine play and a strong throw.
Here's Steve Buechele. Texas third baseman looks at a candy curveball for a strike. He's had a triple and scored a run and been called out on strikes. 1 for 2. Bullpen stays busy. We're in the top of the 7th. 4-2 Angels. Hits are even up at 5. To shortstop. Schofield with it. 2 out here in the 7th inning.
And what they're saying in the dugout right now is 7 outs to go. That's what they start counting now, the outs.
Here's Toby Harrah. Curveball a little high for ball 1. Toby's had a double, driven in a run. He is 1 for 2. Reggie Jackson just kind of staying at the ready if he can down in the dugout in case he's needed.
He wants in this game.
Towards short, off the hands of Harrah. Schofield with a strong throw to get Toby Harrah. And 1, 2, 3. Go the Texas Rangers in the 7th. It is 7th inning stretch time here at the Big A. In a game that could mean a Western Division championship for the Angels, they lead the Rangers 4-2. Coming up, Burleson, Schofield, and Boone.
It's hard work being a cop.
LA Police Helicopter 8 to Culver City on Claymars.
When we arrest those guilty of peddling drugs to kids or who sexually assault women and children, they have to be punished. That's only right. And we need people at the top who will back us up. That's why so many sheriffs, police chiefs, and 40,000 peace officers endorsed Lieutenant Governor Leo McCarthy. Leo McCarthy has hung tough with us when it counted the most.
Leo McCarthy, the one who's earned respect.
People travel across the world to put their hearts in our hands. Some for surgery, others for innovative care to avoid surgery. But they all come for the same reason: experience. St. Vincent was a pioneer of open heart surgery here on the West Coast nearly 30 years ago. Today, we perform more of it than any other California hospital. And the greater our experience, the better yours. St. Vincent Medical Center. In heart care, in health care, experience counts.
For all those performance cars that want to keep performing even in wet, sloppy weather, Goodyear introduces the Eagle GT Plus 4. High performance and all-weather performance in one remarkable tire. The Eagle GT Plus 4. The performance won't be canceled by the weather. You either have Goodyear Eagles or you need them.
All right, as we go to the bottom of the 7th, Reggie Jackson will bat for Burleson, and we'll give you the trivia question as he steps in. There it is, when Mickey Rivers set Angels records for most stolen bases in a season. He capped the year with the final 2 thefts on this date back in 1975. How many did he steal? 63, 67, or 70?
Well, here's what Bobby Valentine wanted. They wanted Reggie in the game so he could switch to the left-hander. But when Reggie Jackson came out of the dugout and was announced, standing O from the people here at the Big A. That's goosebump time.
He's had a wonderful September. If you're going to pass along some accolades, you got to give him some, because he struggled in and out much of the season, but came on strong, won the ball game last night with a home run. So Texas goes to the bullpen, and we'll be back in a minute to the Big A.
just done change your new Toyota 4x4. You've turned loose 135 horses of pure turbo power with high running ground clearance and independent front suspension. So when you get it home, maybe you better cage it. Toyota 4x4s, starting at $89.98. Are the #1 selling compact 4x4 trucks in America. Who could ask for anything more?
The thing about my mother is, she just knew we had it in us to do something with our lives. She was so sure. Well, after a while, we got to feeling that way too.
Mother, I hear a screen door slamming, and you're calling to me. Mother, I hear your voice across every memory. You know, sometimes I lost my way, but I never felt alone. You were there for me when I struck out and when I made it home. And now that all our younger years slip into yesterday, I want you to remember I won't drift away.
Hello?
Mom?
And you hear me calling.
Oh, baby dear, how are you?
I won't drift
I was just thinking about you.
Gene Autry has to be a man that is awfully proud as Porter sends it to Carew. This should do it. He knocks it down. He goes to Tanetta. It's down. It's over. The Angels win. Frank Tanetta mobbed by his teammates. Carew, his teammates making their way to the dugout as the Angels, for the first time in 19 years, win the Western Division title of the American League.
Here's Reggie Jackson to face Mitch Williams, who gets a strike in there. Oddly enough, the guy who made that last out is sitting on the Texas bench, Darrell Porter.
That's right.
Reggie 0-2, batting for Burleson, who was 0 for 2, grounded out both times in there. Mitch Williams, 8-5 on the year, 8 saves to his credit, a 3.38 earned run average.
And we were talking about Reggie, and what comes to mind is that home run he hit in Boston in July after losing a very, very tough game on a Thursday night and coming back to hit 2 home runs off Seaver on Friday to have the club bounce back.
Reggie fouls one back here. I think the count is 0-2, that there was a check swing and a foul, if I'm not mistaken. The scoreboard says 1-2. Let's see if Dale Ford makes a correction. He does. It is 0-2. There's the boss looking on. Mr. Autry in anticipation of what could be a celebration here. Reggie ducks away from one foul back. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Reggie leading it off. Schofield to follow. Bob Boone.
And that ground ball from that 79, that was 7 years ago yesterday.
Yes,
25th.
4-2. The Angels on top. They had 3 home runs in the 6th inning. Sandwiched around an error. And scored 4. Inside to Reggie.
My man, that was a big-time knockdown right there. Whether it was on purpose or not, that was the way it used to be done in the old days.
Struck him out. Caught him looking at a fastball over the outside part of the plate. Reggie is down on strikes to start things in the bottom of the 7th. As you look ahead to the Texas 8th, it would be the top of their order coming up. Fletcher, Sierra, and O'Brien. And then into the middle part of the lineup. Parrish, Incaviglia, so on. So that's what you're going to have to deal with in the 8th and 9th inning. You're going to have to go into the meat of that lineup. Dick Schofield has been called out on strikes. Flight out. He is 0 for 2. One ball, one strike, go ahead.
This young man can bring it.
This is his first year in the big leagues. Signed in '82. Born here in Santa Ana. Lives in West Lynn, Oregon. Threw up there. Two ball, two strike count on Dick Schofield.
And he's the kind of pitcher, left-handed. He'll strike out people. He has struck out 88 batters in 93 2/3 innings. But he's also walked 71 hitters. So he's just wild enough to be effective, as was proven with Reggie. Knocks him down, then paints the outside corner with a fastball.
2-2. One out, nobody on. The Angel bullpen stays busy out there, casually so. You talk about being just feast or famine. He threw that one behind Schofield.
Well, he got his spike caught that time. But he is wild.
Full count, 3-2 on Dick Schofield. And he walks it. That is the first base on balls given to the Angels tonight. Williams, the third pitcher used by Bobby Valentine tonight. Mason started, worked 5 1/3, charged with 2 Angel runs. Mahorsic, 2/3 of an inning, charged with the other 2 Angel runs. Williams almost fired one to the backstop. Swat's going to have to be on his toes back there.
Comes Tom House.
While we have a moment here, as House walks out, Tom House is a strong believer in his pitchers throwing the football around. Explain the theory behind that.
I'm not sure what the theory is.
You're shaking your head.
I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I believe it's keeping the elbow up, which is what you want to do in pitching. And when you throw a slider, you throw it like you're throwing a football.
Spiral, right.
Spiral. But I believe basically it's keeping the elbow up. That's the only way you can throw a spiral on a football.
They might play a little hit and run, you think, with a Boone up there?
No, you're not going to hit and run with this pitcher. He's too wild.
Okay. He's fallen behind Boone. 2 balls, no strikes. And Bobby Valentine.
Bobby Valentine is saying, where's Mike Mason?
He missed there with a fastball. 3-0 to Boone. Mike Mason might be saying, where's Mike Mason? 4-2. Angels lead. Bottom of the 7th inning. And ball, nope, it's a strike. Just tailed over the outside part of the plate. Dale 4, a little late on the pump. 3-1. Bob Boone has grounded out twice tonight. 0 for 2, having grounded out to short both times. There's ball 4. Down to second goes Schofield. That'll bring up Pettis, the top of the batting order. The Angels trying to get a little insurance. And Swat goes out. Is joined by O'Brien and Buechele. See if they can settle young Mr. Williams. Here comes Bobby Valentine out of the Texas dugout.
And that's it.
They're going to go to their bullpen and call for a right-hander. So Williams is going to be out of there after 1/3. Struck out a man and walked 2. And he's responsible for both men on base. And we'll see who comes out of the Texas bullpen. The Angels lead it here 4-2. Gary Pettis due to stand in. He's the fellow that got things started in the 6th inning. After Boone had grounded out, Pettis hit a Mason curveball over the left field wall to make it 2-1. Joyner then bounced one out to Toby Harrah at second. He bobbled it, and Joyner reached on the error. They changed pitchers, brought in Dale Mahorsic. Downing took him over the boards for a 2-run shot that put the Angels up by 1, 3-2. And after DeCenze had tapped back to the mound, George Hendrick took Mahorsic over the wall and left, and the Angels led it 4-2, and that's where it stands right now. Greg Harris, who has been their ace out of the bullpen. Harris coming on for the 69th time. He has 18 saves to his credit. His record 9-8. Not in a save situation right now.
Number 27.
Greg Harris. So as Harris starts to loosen up, we'll tell you that Sunday night at 9, join critics Rex Reed and Bill Harris for At the Movies. That's Sunday night at 9 right here on Channel 5. That's the general tone of things, Joseph, around here.
I don't know if we're prejudiced or not, but I just think the California Angels have been the best kept secret in both leagues. They probably had the least exposure of any of the division winners.
Right, nationally.
And I think they're a pretty good matchup for Boston.
We were talking about that the other day. We have a little time to do it. You might give us your ideas. You think that they match up pretty well almost in every phase. Pitching, relief pitching, offense, defense.
I really do. The defense a little better with the Angels, and their starting pitching, I believe, is better. Both bullpens have been a little spotty through the '86 season. Boston has been a little more power-laden. However, California has gotten its share of base hits, and they both have some veterans.
By the way, if you're interested in obtaining a mail-order copy of the Angels' 1987 home schedule, you can have one when it becomes available. All you need to do is drop a postcard to Angels 87 schedule, Post Office Box 2000, Anaheim 92803. The Angels will be happy to forward your mail-order schedule just as soon as it comes off the press. Gary Pettis, 2 for 3 tonight with a home run and a single back in the first. And he bats here with runners at first and second, one out, and faces Greg Harris. Harris out there for the 69th time. Misses high with a breaking pitch. Buechele at third, in on the edge of the grass down there, respecting Pettis' speed. Gary with 52 runs driven in, 4 home runs. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Remind you again, looking at the Ranger 8, the top of their batting order duo, Fletcher, Sierra, and O'Brien. Angel bullpen busy. They shade Pettis to the opposite field. One and two. Looked like he had a little uppercut on that.
Well, he just threw the ball by him. He might have been looking for a breaking ball. Greg Harris throws a lot of curveballs. He's not as proud of his fastball as he should be, because I think he has a pretty good fastball. But he is basically a breaking ball pitcher.
1-2 on Pettis. 1 out, runners at first and second. Check swing, he went around, struck out. May have chased a bad ball. Harris gets the first man he faces.
There's Greg Harris, and it looks like it's starting to be a breaking ball, and it just hung upstairs. I don't think that was the fastball. Might have been.
Here is Wally Joyner, looking for his first hit of the night. He has sacrificed, grounded out, reached on an error, and scored on the home run by Downing. Harris starts him with a breaking pitch.
Wally Joyner needs 6 RBIs for the century mark.
With one swing of the bat, he could pick up 3 right here. Fouled back here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schofield out at second base. Bob Boone is on at first. They drew back-to-back walks after Reggie had been called out on strikes when he pinch hit for Burleson. 2 out. The bullpen looking on from the Angel side. Let up breaking pitches in for a strike. 1-2.
That's the big curveball that Greg Harris throws. Fastball has a little tail to it.
Broken bat, looper foul, and he broke his bat. He'll have to get a new one. Well, Wally will take a little time to go make his own selection. Bat Boy brought one out to him. But
usually when hitters go up, some of the hitters anyway, they'll have a couple of bats on deck. Their best bat and then their second best bat, and that makes it easier for the Bat Boy. But he wanted that dark bat. Bat Boy just picked one out of the rack and brought it out to him. Wally says, that's not it.
2 out, 2 on. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-2 Angels. 4 runs on 5 hits. Leading Texas.
And sometimes you need that walk back to the dugout to get the sting out of your hand.
Rolled foul. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes on Wally Joyner. He hasn't had a home run since August the 5th. I tell you, if he hit one right now, this place would be up for grabs. Rolls a curveball foul back into the Texas dugout, barehanded by Bobby Valentine, and he flips it back over the top into the crowd.
Probably wanted to take a bite out of it first.
He took Mason out of the ballgame after Mason had given up only 3 hits. And leading in the ballgame 2-1. Curveball hit hard to right. It's going to be a base hit. Here comes Schofield around third, and Candelaria with it. Throws into second base. It's a base hit, an RBI for Wally Joyner. The Angels lead 5-2. He battled him, Joey. He stayed with him and finally got a pitch he could handle.
Well, that's a sign of a good hitter. We've talked about it so often about Wally Joyner. He fouled off some tough pitches. And finally, laid on this breaking ball, and he hung upstairs and just raked it down the right field line to pick up RBI number 95. And the confetti is starting.
That's not confetti.
I know it isn't confetti.
Wally Joyner at first, his 95th run driven in. 5-2 Angels. Some bathroom tissue being tossed onto the field in right, and just behind the first base dugout, it just barely missed DeSensei in the on-deck circle. So they're taking a little time to clean up some of the debris.
Well, they start in the upper deck, and they said, I bet I run out before you do, right?
Bobby Valentine
having a little meeting with himself.
Here's Brian Downing, a 2-run shot in the 6th that put the Angels on top. They now lead 5-2.
He really broke the spell. Well, actually, Pettis broke the spell, and Downey just turned the game around.
Too high to Bryan for a ball. That run, by the way, is charged to Williams in this inning, and he is still responsible for Boone over third base. 5-2 Angels. 6 outs away from a division title. Curveball strike. Bryan with 19 home runs, 89 runs driven in. Hits one high and deep to left. This one is way back, and it's gone. Another home run for Brian Downing. A 3-run shot for Brian Downing. 5 RBIs. And the Angels lead it 8-2. Joey, I don't think they'll let him sit down.
I think he'll be pushed out of the dugout for this curtain call. Boy, I'll tell you, I'm getting goosebumps up here, Bob. It's really electric. Really electric. There he is.
You have any idea how tough that was for him to do?
He's just going over it in his mind right now, and he can't catch his breath. There's the fastball, and it's gone again, just like the first one he hit back last inning. There was no doubt about it, and the only thing that it does here is give Paciorek exercise. You can call in the dogs now. Put out the fire, the hunt's over.
There's Greg Harris, who took over for Williams, who walked Schofield and Boone. Both those men have come on to score. He got Pettis on strikes. Joyner reached him for an RBI single. And Downing just touched him for his second home run of the night, the fourth home run of the night for the Angels, and they lead it 8-2. And with 6 outs remaining for them to get to have a Western Division title under their belt. DeCinces rolls one up to first base side, foul. Brian Downing with 5 RBIs tonight. He was 0 for 2 coming into the 6th inning. And after Joyner reached on the error, he took one over the board. He now has 20 home runs and 92 runs driven in.
The Angels with three guys with 90-plus RBIs. Joyner, DeCinces, and now Downing.
Breaking pitch misses. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out.
Think Gene Mauch is smiling yet?
No. His mom might be. His sister and brother-in-law might be.
You're right, he isn't. His hands are in his back pocket or behind his back, and I bet they can't stay still. He's fidgety.
Three and 1 on Doug DeCinces. Third walk in the inning. The first given up by Harris, and the 8th man to bat in the inning, George Hendrick, will be up there. George homered his last time up. He's had 2 hits tonight, a double and a home run. He is 2 for 3. The Angels with a 6-run lead. They lead it 8-2. And they trailed 2-0 going into the 6th inning. Starts him with a curveball and got it in for a strike.
They have been such a great comeback club all year long. And why should tonight be any different?
Ground ball back up the middle. Fletcher gets to it, gives to the second baseman Hara for the force out. And the inning is over, but the Angels come up with 4 more. And listen to this crowd. Only 2 hits in the inning. They leave a man. They've stranded only 3. And after 7 innings of play, it's the Angels 8, the Rangers 2. And coming up in the Texas 8th, the top of the batting order, Fletcher, Sierra, and O'Brien.
This bud's for all that you do.
Carlos, I need 100 of these by Friday.
My friend, I'm retired. My son is running the business now.
Oh. Let's see, what do you have there? Well, I want the...
You know just where you're going. Now is your time for growing. It's your turn to deal now. You're at the wheel now. It's true, your pride is showing, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you. For everything you do, America calls on guys like you, cause you make America work, and this bud's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
You make America work, and this bud's for you.
To millions of Californians, this is all the directory they'll ever need. The very best place there is to find things. Ordinary things like a pizza. Extraordinary things like a Tabor or a Lute. When you think about it, nothing can match the Pacific Bell Yellow Pages. And every time you use them, you understand why. The Pacific Bell Yellow Pages. Simply the best.
That's Devon White taking over out in left field here in the top of the 8th inning. And over in right field is Darrell Miller. Devon White out in left field. Darrell Miller takes over in right for George Hendrick. And Donnie Moore comes on to pitch. Donnie Moore makes his 46th appearance. 21 saves to his credit. And he'll try to nail it down for John Candelaria, who leaves after 7 innings of work. 7 really good innings, Joe Torre.
Strong.
2 runs, gave up 5 hits, struck out 9, walked 2, and you were right. He was strong. They got their 2 runs off him in the 3rd. And they put a triple, double, a single together in the 3rd. But then his offense came in to pick him up starting in the 6th inning, and they score 4 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and lead 8-2. And Fletcher swings and foul tips one for strike 1. Fletcher with a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3 with an RBI. You're just like a manager. You're antsy. You're bouncing around up here.
I tell you, baseball in September, man, is keyed up time.
Out of play. 0-2 on Fletcher. Fletcher, Sierra, and O'Brien.
Those players are down in the locker room now figuring out a way to keep their clothes dry in the locker.
We had a shot from underneath a while ago. They put some plastic up across the face of the lockers down there to keep things as dry as they possibly can. 1-2. Nothing else doing in the Angel bullpen. John Candelaria struck out 9 tonight. He walked 2, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. Just missed. 2-2. They won in 79. They won in 82, and a chance to win it here tonight. They lead by 6 over the Texas Rangers. Toward third, but foul. And a fan with a souvenir of perhaps this division clinching ball game tonight. 46,677 paid, and most are still here. Two and two on Fletcher. Toward third, foul. Jammed him quite badly. We'll mention again to you one of the other scores. Boston's going to have to wait. They were beaten in 12 innings tonight, 1-0. So they have a couple of more days to play before they can clinch. Two and two on Scott Fletcher. Too high, full count. Want to remind you of something coming up on Sunday, October the 5th. A season end special that we have put together at Channel 5. We think you'll enjoy it. This has popped up behind first. Back is Joyner, but Gritch is there and calls him off, and Bobby waits and takes it for out number 1 on the 8th. 5 outs to go. Fletcher pops out to Bobby Gritch. 1 away. That'll bring up Ruben Sierra. The special, the season-ending special, will come up October the 5th for you here on Channel 5, 9:30 p.m. And we think you'll like it. Have a lot of stuff about what has been an outstanding year for the Angels. It'll be on the Sunday evening of that season finale down in Texas when they wrap up the 86 season against these Rangers. Ruben Sierra with a base hit tonight, a walk, and he's grounded out. 1 for 2. And he starts him with a strike on a fastball.
That's all it amounts to right now. Throw strikes, throw strikes.
5 outs to go for a division championship for the Angels. Dismissed. 1-1. Just about everybody's had a hand in it. Pettis with 2 hits, including a home run tonight. George Hendrick with 2 hits, including a home run tonight. Brian Downing with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Popped up, way up for Bob Boone. Back off to the right side behind home plate and makes the catch for out number 2, and there are 4 outs to go. Sierra pops out to Bob Boone. 2 away. That'll bring up Pete O'Brien. The hair standing up on the back of your neck?
Well, yes, and I have some hair on the top of my head, too.
And that's standing up as well.
Hopefully.
Here's Pete O'Brien, 0 for 3, flied out, struck out twice. Candelaria was really tough on him. That's a base hit. A 2-out single by Pete O'Brien. Over to get it is Darryl Miller, guns it back in, showing a strong arm.
Pete O'Brien just relished the thought of seeing the guy throw with the other arm. It makes it a lot more relaxing when you see the guy coming at you from third base. Takes a nice swing at it. And the new right fielder makes sure it's held to a single.
Here is Larry Parrish, 0 for 2 with a walk. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Angels lead it 8-2 over the Texas Rangers and 4 outs away from the division title. And a wild pitch. Or perhaps a pass ball. We'll see how they score it. But down to second goes O'Brien. Bob Boone will go out and say something to Donnie Moore.
Well, as a fastball, it looks like Booney was looking for something else because he threw that ball right by him.
I think they're going to score at a wild pitch. They do. The wild pitch allows O'Brien to go to second with 2 out, and here is Parrish. 1 ball count. Two 2-0. On deck, Pete Incaviglia. That swing, did he go around? First base umpire says yes. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Fletcher popped out to start things here in the top of the 8th. Sierra popped out for out number 2. O'Brien reached Donnie Moore for a single. And the count of 2 balls, 1 strike on Larry Parrish. Outfield straight away for him. He's at 27 over the boards, 90 RBIs. He's had a good year for Texas. One of the big reasons they've been in contention all season long.
And he spent the early part of spring training and the early part of the season wondering which ball club he was going to be dealt to. And then all of a sudden Texas finds himself in the race, and they really couldn't afford to give up on him.
A base hit. That'll drive in a run. Over to get it is Devon White. Well, the wild pitch hurts. Parrish drives a run. It's 8-3. The Angel lead at 5 runs. Parrish with his 91st RBI of the year.
Well, Larry Parrish likes to extend his arms, and Donnie Moore out over the plate with it. Just lifts it into left center field for the base hit.
Here's Pete Incaviglia. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out, tapped back to the mound, and flied out to right. He put George Hendrick right back at the fence in right field the last time up there. It is 8-3. Angels. Breaking pitch missed. That might have been the split-fingered fastball. Two out here in the top of the 8th inning. Changed up or stayed with the split finger, took a little bit off it.
There's Donnie. He really takes a lot off this pitch, and Incaviglia is way out in front. Incaviglia is no secret, likes to hit the fastball. I mean, you can pull a string on him.
They do there, strike 2.
That's the way you do it.
1-2 on Pete Incaviglia. Runner at first, a run is home. It is 8-3 Angels. If he gets rid of Incaviglia, that would mean in the 9th inning, it would be Pashoric, Slaught, and Buechel that they'd be dealing with. Chopper back up toward the middle with Schofield there. Flips it backhanded to Bobby Grich, and that's the final out of the inning, and they're 3 outs away from the division title. 6-4 in the 4 shot at second. A run home on 2 hits in the inning, and they leave a man. Texas is stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning here at the Big A. It's the Angels 8, the Texas Rangers 3, and coming up in the Angel 8, Bobby Grich will lead it off. Reggie will follow, and then Dick Schofield.
You know, there's lots of reasons I bought my new Toyota Celica. In the daytime, it's the 16-valve 2-liter engine. And at night, boy, do I look good. In the daytime, it's 135 horsepower, makes me feel real special. And at night, boy, do I look good. In the daytime, Celica's front-wheel drive helps me handle the road. And at night, boy, do I look good.
The Toyota Celica GTS.
Can you believe the way some fast food places make chicken? It starts out frozen and can end up like rubber. At Kentucky Fried Chicken, the original recipe and extra crispy chicken start out fresh. And they're cooked fresh all day long, so every piece is tender and delicious. Finger-licking good.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, all we do is chicken, so we do it right. Anyone else's chicken may leave you cold.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Success in business is often a matter of being in the right place at the right time. That's why one airline in the West gives you the convenience of over 500 flights a day. PSA, with more flights more often throughout the West than any other airline. PSA, catch our smile. Fly PSA from Los Angeles to all of California and the Northwest.
The new Texas pitcher is Jeff Russell. Jeff Russell, he takes over for Greg Harris. Jeff Russell coming on for the 35th time. Has only one save to his credit. Big, tall right-hander. 3.52 earned run average. Jeff Russell. We'd like for you to join us for our next regular season game on Sunday, October the 5th, as the Angels take on these same Texas Rangers. Game time will be 12 noon down in Texas, so don't miss all the exciting action here on KTLA, your station for Angels baseball. And also be with us that night at 9:30 for the season end special. We hope you enjoy that as well. Here's Bobby Grich to lead it off against Jeff Russell. Swings on the first pitch, lofts it into center field, and there is Sierra. One away. Looking ahead to the Texas night. Tom Pashoric would lead it off. Don Slaught would follow, and then Steve Buechel. Joe Torre has vacated the premises and headed downstairs for the post-game celebration possibility. Here's Reggie. Had one at bat in the 7th inning when he pitched it for Burleson. Was called out on strike. As Mitch Williams, the left-hander, got him. Jeff Russell, big, tall, lanky right-hander, gets a strike in there with a fastball. Jeffrey Lee Russell out of Cincinnati. Swung on and fouled back here. 0-2 on Reggie. He had a couple of years with Cincinnati, 83 and 84. He was involved in the deal that sent Buddy Bell from Texas to Cincinnati. Strike 3 call. Reggie is punched out of there on strikes. So with 2 out and nobody on, that'll be Dick Schofield. Take a look at it one more time. Russell painted that outside part of the plate. Just kind of tailed away from the left-handed batter. And Dick Schofield up there looking for his first hit of the night, though he's been on base and scored a run. He was driven in by Joyner in the 7th inning. Russell has a slingshot kind of delivery. He is 6'3", 210-pounder. The Angels with a chance at a division title tonight with an 8-3 lead and 3 outs away from that title. And still some baseball to play. 2 more games with Texas here on the weekend. Then they go to Kansas City and then finish up down in Texas next weekend. But they like to wrap it up tonight, and they have a leg up on it, leading by 5. It would be their 3rd division title in the 26-year history of the club. Schofield takes high for a ball, 3-1. But they have had a lot of people contributing all season long. Ground ball out to Toby Harrod. Second, he throws out Schofield. That takes care of the Angels here in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. And so the crowd senses the anticipation at the top of the 9th. It is 8-3 Angels. And coming up in that Texas 9th inning, Tom Paciorek will lead it off. Don Slaught to follow, and then Steve Buechele.
How do you do? I'm Jim Healy on KMPC 710 AM, Southern California's #1 sports station.
Right.
KMPC, the home of the California Angels, Los Angeles Rams, UCLA Bruins football and basketball, NFL, Monday Night Football, and the Los Angeles Clippers, all on KMPC.
Oh, that's a bunch of bull.
I don't make them up, Pally. KMPC 710 AM is Southern California's #1 sports station. Right.
The place you dreamed of retiring to. It's there in your IDS personal financial plan. IDS planners are specialists who know that your plan isn't just numbers. It's a picture of how to get what you want out of life. IDS, an American Express company.
It's hard work being a cop.
LA Police Helicopter 8 to Culver City on Claymars.
When we arrest those guilty of peddling drugs to kids or who sexually assault women and children, they have to be punished. That's only right. And we need people at the top who will back us up. That's why so many sheriffs, police chiefs, and 40,000 peace officers endorsed Lieutenant Governor Leo McCarthy. Leo McCarthy has hung tough with us when it counted the most.
Leo McCarthy, the one who's earned respect.
As we go to the top of the 9th inning, we'll give you the answer to the trivia question here tonight. It was about Mickey Rivers. Mickey Rivers stole 30 bases in 1974 and then stole over twice as many in 1975 when he set an Angels record and led the American League with 70 thefts. Odeby McDowell is going to bat for Tom Paciorek. Odeby McDowell batting for Paciorek. Donnie Moore ready to work. 3 outs away from a title, and he changed up on him, and McDowell was out in front for strike 1. Another one of these youngsters for the Texas club that has been such a part of their success this year. McDowell batting .267 on the year. He's hit 18 home runs and driven in 45. 1-1. But looking back over the year, and the people, as we were talking earlier about Wally Joyner, the great first half that he had, carrying the club, and then the second half that DeCinces and Downing have had, and the September alone that Reggie has had. Change up, fouled away, 1-2. Reggie with career home run number 548 last night that won the ball game and set the stage for tonight with 5 home runs and 11 RBIs in his last 7 games. One ball, 2 strikes on McDowell. struck him out. 2 outs away from the title. That is the 10th Texas Ranger to go down on strike. That brings up the catcher, Don Slutt. 2 outs away from a Western Division title. And they're just waiting in Boston for a couple of days to see if they can nail things down. They came up short tonight in 12 innings, beaten by Toronto 1-0. Their magic number staying at 3. Slutt lines one to the Sensei for out number 2. 1 out away from a division title. Already the security forces have stepped down on the field on each foul line to try to prevent people from coming on the field. They have asked that people do not come down on the field and destroy the field. As you look at this slam by Slutt as he hooked it hard at DeCinces at third, and Doug, diving to his left, took it in. The batter will be Gino Petrelli. He'll bat for Bushell. And this crowd, in anticipation of a division title, a slice foul off the left side. Strike 1. Gino Petrelli, switch hitter, batting .276 from the left side. Couple of home runs, 16 runs driven in. The Western Division title about to be decided. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the ninth, 8-3 Angels. Donnie Moore ready to work. Strike 2. Down to 1 strike. And the Western Division belongs to the California Angels. The dugout, right on the edge of things. You see the security force down in there as well. The pitch, it's all over. The magic number is 0. Here come the players, and here come the fans. And the players trying to get out of there as best they can. They head for the dugout. It is all over. The Angels win the Western Division title, and wait to find out when Boston's going to win their division. The fans have come out on the field. The security force not able to do much to prevent it. And all you can hope for is that they don't damage the field too much. The Angels win it 8-3. And going back to the 6th inning when they scored 4 and 4 more in the 7th. And Brian Downing with 2 home runs tonight as you see them come into the Angel dressing room. Downing drove in 5. So those are the Western Division champions. An 8-3 win for the Angels over the Texas Rangers. Still some baseball to be played. Not only in the remainder of the season, 2 more games in this series, then to Kansas City and to Texas. But also some playoff and that ultimate goal, reaching the World Series. John Candelaria is the winner tonight as the Angels win at 8-3. The loser is Dale Mahorsic. And the fans coming onto the field, they're all over the infield here at the Big A. And the only thing, as I said, you can hope for is that it's not a destructive crowd, one that is in appreciation of what they have seen here in 1986. A club that not too many people thought would finish high in the Western Division. They said, well, they have too many key players that are too well up in years. That didn't seem to hold true at all. The starting pitching of Mike Witt, McCasker, Don Sutton, and John Candelaria coming back after the elbow problem, coming to the fore. And then the solid performances of those people that have to play every day. Wally Joyner, who was pretty much carrying things in the first half of the season.
Are we ready? We're ready. It's starting to get wet in here. The celebration is just starting to heat up. Gene Mock is being surrounded. John Candelaria is the first one to get wet, and they're all starting with the ammunition right now. The excitement started a little bit slowly. I think with the big lead, the players started coming in here one at a time and getting set for this thing. And we'll try to get some players up here right now as they're just really starting to break it open. Marcel, come on, let's get... Latch, congratulations.
Thank you, Joe.
what did it mean tonight to have Candelaria going for that victory?
You know, Candy's been a money pitcher. We got a bunch of money pitchers on this club. We got a bunch of money players, and the guys really came through. They get a couple runs early, and the guys just kept battling, and Gary hits a home run, and the next thing you know, we turn it loose.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe.
Great job. Gene, come on up here, Gene. Congratulations. The winning skipper, Gene Mock.
Well, it's a great bunch of people, Joe, and I'm so proud of what they did early in the year, and hanging together when things weren't just right with our pitching staff. They had great confidence that once we got our team intact, that we were going to be tough to deal with. And I'm so proud that they waited held on until Candelaria and Donnie Moore and everybody got sound. And we're ready for anybody now. And I believe that with all my heart.
Well, I know before the game, it's just, especially in your eyes, it's like putting the bats away before the game is over. You were out there hiding today, and I know our crew came down here trying to put some cables in here and some lines in here for this celebration, and you didn't really care for it because the game wasn't over yet.
I have a certain amount of superstitions, I guess. Superstitious bones in my body. Damn, this stuff.
Get a towel. Here you go. Here you go.
Where?
Right there.
Thank you very much.
It's supposed to be in the mouth, boys.
Our ability to play in the late innings was proven once again tonight. When they get to the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, there's a lot of sincere talk on the bench about, hey, boys, these are our innings. And they're not hollow. You can tell how hollow it sounds. You manage long enough. You hear those hollow words, they don't mean anything. But it's so sincere, they mean every word that these are our innings, and they play like it.
Well, you've had a comeback club all year, and tonight was no different. He's got it. How did that feel? Oh, I knew. My old pitcher, Terry Forster, had to do this to me, right? Who else? Who else? He never did.
Rookie.
Congratulations, Gene. Gene, can I ask you? I know it's a little premature, and I know it's not premature in your mind. Who are your pitchers in Boston?
I don't know yet. Honestly, Joe, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. It figures to be Witt and McCaskill, but I really couldn't tell you for sure. We're going to analyze the whole thing now that we've got a chance to do it. Because like I said, I'm a little superstitious. I wanted to get this thing settled and then have a pure objective outlook on things to come.
Well, when you started spring training, you said it's going to take 90 victories. Tonight is victory number 90.
I wasn't interested in being a prophet, Joe. I was just interested in being effective and being in first place.
Thank you, Gene. Good luck. Well, you see what's happening. Wally Joyner. Uh-oh, he's got a loaded bottle, too. He's just using it for ammunition, though. That's okay. Wally, another RBI tonight. You're up to 95. You've had a slow second half, but you carried this ball club, and you're back the first half of the season.
Well, it's just great. It's a great feeling for these guys. I'm just glad that I can play with the Angels in 1996, and I was fortunate to get off to a great start, but last night we had 3 different guys have RBIs. Tonight we had 3 different guys. Everybody's playing great. You got to give credit to John Candelaria, and hopefully we can do great in postseason this year.
Well, you've had an unselfish ball club. It didn't really matter, as you mentioned, different guy every night. It doesn't really matter as long as you win, and it just seems like you guys have had the magic.
All year we've had the magic. A couple times we had some losing streaks, but we hung together. We got a great pitching staff. Everybody stayed healthy. It looks like I'm healthy for the postseason now, and
maybe you might catch a cold tonight.
It's going to be great. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Wally. Who is it? That's Foster again. This is crazy. I didn't get this wet in '82. Where we go? Terry, get up here, Terry. You want to be? I know you're safe when you're next to me. Terry Forster.
I am, but not you, Joe.
Boy, is this beautiful. My wash and wears tonight. How special is this to you?
Well, very special, being released like I was this spring, and everybody said everything happens for the best, and in my case it sure was. I'm back home, and greatest bunch of guys in the world, I'll tell you. And have a lot of fun.
Because it looked dead for you early on, and you're finally getting some of your own medicine. Chuck Finley's getting him. But you helped this ball club. They picked you up. They lost a couple of guys. They lost Candelaria. They lost Donnie Moore. You picked up the slack along with Doug Corbett. And it just seems like everybody who put on an Angel uniform really was a contributor.
Well, especially in the bullpen, everybody that was down there this year, everybody did a great job. Forrest did a good job, Slayton, when everybody was called upon, especially the guys now. Now, I'm so proud of them, and we did what we had to do to win, and it's just a great feeling, especially this early.
Nice going.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Doug the Sensei. Come on over here, Doug.
Yeah.
They were writing you off early, too. You know that?
Yeah, they did. They were trying to, but, when it gets tough get going, I'm just happy to be a part of this team and be able to contribute what I did. And this is great. I love it.
Really, what was the difference in you? Because you started out, you were struggling against right-hand pitching. You were handling the left-handers okay. And all of a sudden, something clicked, and Doug the Sensei started driving at the ball and hitting the ball out of the ballpark, and it just seemed like a whole rejuvenation.
Well, the season's 6 months, and you tried it for consistency all the way through, and I just got into I felt that I was swinging the bat good, and I started hitting some balls at people, and then I had a little injury, and all of a sudden I started pressing, and things just weren't going my way, Joe, and I was really struggling. But, when my dad came in, he says, look, you're at the bottom of the rope. It's time to tie the knot and start climbing back up, and I took his advice.
Well, they say, when it comes around to the September, the older guys are supposed to get tired, but that's when you guys, Bob Boone, Reggie Jackson, just picked up the slack.
Well, I can't believe it. When it comes, a friend of mine once said, when the leaves turn brown, we know who's going to be around. And the leaves are starting to turn brown, and the veterans really came through and carried this team at the end. And as I said, it's just great to play on this team. We've got solid depth all the way through, and that's why we're here pouring champagne tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Joe. My
great
pleasure.
Year.
All righty.
Yes. We're going to come down here to talk to the chairman of the board, the man who's owned this ball club for 26 years, and you couldn't be prouder, Gene, could you?
I'm very proud of this ball club. I think that with the veterans and the youngsters, they've done a great job, and I want to congratulate Gene Mark. He's done a great job with this club, playing the youngsters part of the time to give the veterans some rest, and his pitching staff. And, of course, Mike Port, the general manager, has done a good job bringing up all these young kids the last couple of years.
And, Mr. Archer, you gave me this pin in the spring, and this is the one that says this year's for Gene. And Bob Starr and I wore it religiously all year, and both Gene Mock and Gene Autry, this is the year for Gene, right?
Well, thank you very much, Joe, and I'm going to tell you something. You and Bob Starr have done a wonderful job of calling the play-by-play with this group of youngsters. But I think this is a great ball club. This is the first phase. You got to win the Western Division, and the next phase is to win the American League pennant, and then from there on to the World Series.
Well, I want to congratulate you and Mrs. Autry for just a tremendous organization and a fine bunch of guys.
Thank you, Joe, and you're a fine guy, too.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to have some more celebrating, but we'll be back right after this.
You got to move, right? Well, you could hire a moving company and pay an arm and a leg. Or you could borrow your brother-in-law's pickup. But then you make 5 trips and your brother-in-law comes along. Or you could rent a Ryder truck with automatic transmission, power steering, air conditioning, a radio. Ryder trucks are the newest, best-running trucks on the road. So it's up to you. What's it going to be? Ryder or your brother-in-law? I'd get Ryder. Ryder, the right move.
After 30 years in prison, Archie Long and Harry Doyle are going straight back to what they do best.
Like robbing and stealing.
I can't believe you guys stole an armored truck. Did you get to rob a train?
We're running to Mexico.
Trucks don't go to Mexico.
Burt Lancaster, Kirk Douglas.
He ain't changed.
Best things never do. Tough Guys, the action comedy of the fall, rated PG.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Check your local newspaper. For K-Joy Radio, singer, composer Paul Anka.
You know, Southern California is a very active place, and sometimes you have to slow down and just relax. I know I do. That's why I listen to K-Joy, FM 99. It really works. So whether at home, at work, or in the car, listen to K-Joy, FM 99, for the times of your life.
The champagne party continues in the clubhouse, and the on-the-field party continues here at the Big A's. The Angels win the Western Division title. They clinch it tonight with an 8-3 win over the Texas Rangers. The final totals on the ball game: 8 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Angels, and 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Texas Rangers. Let's go back downstairs to Joe Torre with General Manager Mike Port.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, General Manager Mike Port. I'll tell you, Mike, it's been an up and down year. A lot of controversy early in the season, and of course toward the end of last year, losing out to Kansas City last year. It has to be so satisfying for you tonight.
Oh, indeed, I think it is, Joe, for all the fellas. I think the veteran core that we had on this club, they had a steel determination that they didn't want to finish one game back in the division again this year, and they helped bring the younger players along, and they all combined to do a fine job. This is step one of 3 steps. We've been in the LCS, the League Championship Series before, and I think you'll find that this club wants to complete all 3 steps, bring the World Series to Anaheim, and get the job done in the overall.
Well, you did a fine job this year of molding. You brought in a Wally Joyner who was like a breath of fresh air. He seemed to carry the ball club the first half of the year, and then all of a sudden the sensei comes to life. Reggie now here in September. Schofield, a great second half. Pettis come on in the second half. It just seemed to be a real team effort, holding together while Candelaria and Donnie Moore were out.
Well, aside from the efforts of the players themselves, I think it's obvious that not enough credit can be given to Gene Mock and his staff. I know some people refer to it as platooning, but as well, it was playing the right guys at the right time, and in the ultimate, keeping a lot of the fellas fresh all the way until the end and getting the best performances out of them possible.
Well, good luck in Boston and wherever you go after that.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you.
Okay, Mike. Let me see. Who else are we got? Oh, Barry Pettis is getting himself a bath over here. Here we go. Well, the excitement is, it's all wet, that's for sure. We know that as you're looking around here.
Yeah, Joe
okay,
Torre.
We're going to get Brian Downing over here in a second. Yeah, Bob.
I was just going to ask you, see if you could track down Brian down. I knew he'd be surrounded by photographers and newspaper and other radio people and television people here, but you should be able to get him pretty soon, would you not?
We're going to get him. We're going to get Gary Pettis up here right now. Come on up here, Gary.
I can't see.
Gary, did you know? Of course you knew. The first home run ever right-handed, and you're a right-hand hitter naturally, right?
Naturally, I'm a right-handed hitter. It was my first home run right-handed, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time. It was a hanging curveball, and I hit it well, and when it went out, I was just so happy that I wanted us to come back and win the ball game. I would have hated to hit a home run and not have us win the ball game.
Well, you just seemed to break the spell because Mike Mason was coasting right along, and all of a sudden he hangs the breaking ball at you. You do what you're supposed to with it, and boom, you're back in the game, and then all of a sudden the home runs came.
Well, we've had that kind of year. We've been down before, and we've battled, and we've come back, and it's just an indication of what kind of ball club we have. We know that when we're down by a few runs, we're just a swing away. All we need is to get a few guys on.
Well, you guys are just a swing away. I tell you, it just seemed that this whole organization, this whole ball club picked up for each other and played very, very well. And yourself, I know you get a little over-anxious sometimes, but tonight you seem to have it when you needed it.
Yes, we did. It's been that way for us all year. We know we have a good ball club, and we don't care what anybody says. We're going to go into Boston and fight as hard as we can, and hopefully we'll bring a championship back to California.
Well, thank you, Gary. And you see it. This is the celebration. The American League West champion California Angels. That's it from the locker room. Now back up to Bob Starr.
All right, Joe Torre, thank you. And our congratulations to the Angels on a great 1986 and on to Boston and finish up this season and on to Boston for the playoff series. This Angels baseball game has been brought to you by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. More dependability, more quality, more satisfied owners. Who could ask for anything more? By PSA, the expressway from Los Angeles to San Francisco, every half hour from 6:30 in the morning to 8 at night every business day. And by Bud Light, the light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light. For our executive producer of sports for KTLA, Zorro Quazarano. For our director, Steve Orlandella. And for my partner, Joe Torre. This is Bob Starr. Hope you enjoyed 86. And stick around for the championship series coming up. So long from the Big A.